One small step for man, and one... No, I can't do that. Can I? Good evening, Chaos TV and the people of the internet. Nathan Hunkin here, live from Spaceport Cornwall, ably assisted by my beautiful assistant, Peter.
Beautiful, is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Take the compliment. It's not going to be many.
Okay, right, yeah, I'll take that one. Yep, lovely, thank you.
And lovely Owen Yellen behind the scenes making it all work. So hopefully you can all hear us and you can see a nice picture of Cosmic Girl, which is a massive Virgin plane on the runway at Newquay. It's just gone 9 o'clock. We've been here since probably midday, along with the rest of the world's media. I can tell you it's very, very exciting. There's a lot of buzz here tonight. And we're hoping to be able to give you a bit of coverage on what's happening here in Newquay, and also give a bit of commentary and a bit of input onto what Virgin are going to be bringing us as well. So a little bit later on, we're going to be treated to some of the live feeds that Virgin are providing. So hopefully we'll get some shots on board during takeoff, during transit, and hopefully we'll see the release of the rocket tonight. And we may even get some nice scenes up in space as well, which just blows my mind.
Yeah, and I guess I'm going to be here as the resident space nerd, shall we say?
Enthusiast.
Enthusiast, yes, space enthusiast. Looking like at the moment, Cosmic Girl is going to be taking off around about 1 minute past 10. But we do know that there are some issues around the site with traffic or traffic jams, which might cause some problems because they don't want to fuel the rocket whilst there is vehicles kind of too close to it. So we'll have to wait and see kind of what happens with that. I imagine they're out there kind of doing whatever they can to clear the roads. But yeah, the latest we've heard is about an hour's time from now, we should see Cosmic Girl rolling or taxiing along the tarmac and taking off, hopefully, all being well.
Yeah, so people local to Cornwall, you'll know there's been a lot of interest in attending tonight, and what I've got to say, all credit to Spaceport Cornwall, because they've really embraced sharing tonight as a celebration with not only the sector of the industry, the media, but also the people of Cornwall, because I think people are really proud. They're really excited to be part of something very special taking place on our doorstep. So I think I'm right in saying they've given away 2,000 tickets.
I think 2,500.
2,500 tickets to be able to attend tonight. Now, if you're sitting at home thinking, I missed out on tickets, grr, damn you. They were very popular. I believe the website crashed twice.
Yes.
They did a Glastonbury, which Melissa was very proud of. Melissa Thorpe, head of Spaceport, when we spoke to her yesterday.
I have heard somewhere that tickets sold out faster than the Glastonbury tickets sold.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So that just goes to show people are very excited. But what we are hearing tonight is, because of the safety, because they're worried people might try and unofficially get close to the site, try and join in, and also the rocket needs fueling as well, where actual rocket fuel is going to be going into this. It's quite dangerous, so there is a cordon around the airport tonight as well. So people are being bussed in through official routes, police escorts, and it sounds like, in true Cornish style, that's taking a little bit longer than they anticipated. So we might see a few delays tonight, but we're hoping that you guys are going to stick with us and join in with the commentary and the coverage as it unfolds tonight. So Pete and I have got, if all goes well, about an hour to fill before we see Taxi.
They're going to be doing it directly.
Directly,
right, say,
okay. Yeah. Before we see Taxi is the phrase they use to kind of move the plane into the runway. Then hopefully we'll see lift off, and then we'll begin to see some nice coverage from Virgin Orbit of the plane going out up over to the Irish Sea, and hopefully releasing the rocket and then the payload. Have I got that right?
Yes, that is exactly right. So Launcher 1 is carrying 9 small sats, which, hopefully, just off the coast of Portugal, they will be released, and we should be able to follow all of that on the live stream. So at the moment, I guess we're still waiting on a final shout for weather fueling the rocket and making sure all the final checks are complete. But we are T-1, or L, because it's launch, not takeoff.
Okay.
Oh, no, L, launch. No, T.
Are you okay?
Takeoff, yes. Takeoff minus 1 hour, launch minus about 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
To set the scene a little bit here, and I was kind of beginning to kind of say earlier, if you didn't manage to get tickets, stick around on the feed tonight. As you can imagine, if you follow space stuff, if you're really interested in some of the stuff that SpaceX have been doing, that obviously NASA's Artemis was a big thing here in Cornwall, with Goonhilly playing a big part in tracking that. They're quite visual, aren't they? They're vertical liftoffs, aren't they? This is different.
Yes. So this is a horizontal launch. First time it's been done in the whole of Western Europe, I believe. So the horizontal launch is where the aeroplane, so in this case a decommissioned 747,
which is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, really nice. Flown with Virgin for many years, now been kind of stripped out and converted into, I guess, a rocket carrier. So she is going to take the rocket, which is named Launcher 1, up to, I think, around about 30,000 feet.
Okay.
We'll double check that. And then, when the time is right and they're all ready, they're going to release Launcher 1, which will then fire its rocket engines, the same as you'd see from a kind of vertical launch rocket. And kind of head up into orbit and release the payload off the coast of Portugal, we think. Of course, also being tracked by our friends at Goonhilly.
Yeah, so we mentioned Goonhilly a minute ago with the Artemis stuff. So Goonhilly, down on the Lizard Peninsula. I feel like everybody in Cornwall will know of Goonhilly. It's been there for years. More recently, they've had a big injection of investment and upgrades of technology, and they're really centering themselves around the space activities, because there's so many different things coming to market around space, whether it's supporting international stuff that, like I say, NASA and SpaceX have been doing, communications, and once again they're playing their part here today. And we actually spoke to Ian, who's the CEO of Goonhilly, yesterday at the press conference, and we'll bring you that a little bit later on. But yeah, so it's a real Cornish/American collaboration happening tonight.
Yes.
But leading back to what I was saying about if you feel like you're missing out being here tonight, I can tell you, in all honesty, there's not going to be a huge amount we can see here tonight. So we've got this beautiful shot of Cosmic Girl sat on the runway. We're hoping that fueling will begin very soon. Of the rocket, because they need to get that rocket fuel in. Do we know what's going into rocket fuel? I'm looking at my expert here because I'm saying rocket fuel, but there's lots of different types.
Yes.
It's not hydrogen.
No, not hydrogen. So I believe this one is liquid oxygen and, I guess liquid kerosene. Let me
he's going to check.
That,
come back to me. That's what he's saying. So essentially here at Newquay Airport, we're going to see an aeroplane take off. Or it's going to have a rocket stuck to the bottom of it. It's really, really cool. But there's not really much else that we can bring you here tonight. This is why we're going to be bringing in some of the Virgin Orbit coverage that they're streaming as well. They're going to have the really glossy, beautiful shots, the insider shots, the behind-the-scenes stuff. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We are here, hopefully, for the duration of the event. It's looking like probably 3 hours. Which is quite a long time.
I think,
no music to fall back tonight. We're not on Chaos Radio.
No. I am hearing that the Virgin Orbit stream is going to be starting very soon.
Very soon, cool. So we can bring you some pictures from
that's
that.
hopefully a positive sign that things are all on track. Yes.
So to give you some idea of where we're sitting, where are we here in Newquay Airport? Well, I can tell you they've got a lovely public area that's got a nice VIP lounge, very nice. We were in there a bit earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, it was very nice, wasn't it? It was we were sheltering
from the rain, because we did have a bit of rain, didn't we? There's a big public area where they've got lots of screens up, so they can watch the coverage alongside kind of a bar and merch. We got our hands on some official merch earlier as well, which is quite exciting. And there's also silent disco going on as well. So there's a whole marquee set up with a silent disco. Now, I'm not going to lie, when we went past a little bit earlier, no one was in there. I don't think the vibe's quite kicked off yet, but I think that's going to be quite popular a little bit later on.
Yeah, hopefully as more people arrive here to start. I'm just looking around and you can kind of see streams of people arriving on kind of double-decker buses and coaches and things. So the site is filling up, and hopefully everyone will be here by the time that Cosmic Girl does take off. So yeah, I think give it a bit of time, give it a bit of alcohol, and
you reckon?
People will be dancing. Yeah, I reckon.
Of course you can. Yeah. So we're streaming live. We're on the media bus, and our friends at Rewind are here as well. So we're just taking a nice picture. So we're smiling for the camera. Thank you very much, Rewind Radio. It's Jamie there from Rewind Radio. So we're on a bus essentially. So Plymouth City Bus have very kindly dropped off their open top bus here in the media centre, and we claimed the kind of upstairs bit along with some photographers, lovely photographer friends that we've met from various places, and Rewind Radio here as well. So yeah. Not the most glamorous place we've been, but we're making ourselves at home.
We had the option of what would you call that? The staging area? A gantry, yes.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's very open to the elements, and we decided we wanted to be nice and warm, so we've taken the upstairs of the open top bus. We got good views from here. We can look across and see Cosmic Girl, the same as you're seeing here on the stream. So yeah, as soon as we see it move, you will also see it move. We're thinking somewhere around about 45 minutes.
Yeah,
now.
We're hoping to stay on track. If you would like to get in touch with us tonight, I think you can do that, can't we? Owen's going, I don't know. Yes, we can. So I think I'm right in saying it's pretty much the normal ways you can get involved tonight. So let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you're having a bit of a watch party. Maybe you're just by yourself on this evening. What even day is it? What day is it?
It is Monday today.
Monday,
yes.
Thank you. On this Monday evening. You can get in touch in the usual way. So it's WhatsApp 01872 228844. So that's 01872 228844. If you want to send us a WhatsApp message, don't forget WhatsApp. You can send voice notes, you can send pictures, videos. We'd love to know where you're joining us from tonight. And you can also comment as well. So if you want to comment on the stream, we're broadcasting on the Chaos TV Facebook page, the Chaos TV YouTube channel, and of course watchchaos.tv. You can use the chat on there. To get involved as well. We'd love to know what you're up to tonight. Evening to Emily, lovely Emily, who is watching on stream tonight. Now, I actually saw Emily's boyfriend earlier, so he's come along with his mate, left the girlfriend at home. Yeah, savage. But I think, to be honest, you've probably got the best deal because it's nice and warm at home, and you've got a front row seat.
Yeah, you have a good view if you're watching a stream at home.
So you're doing all right. But shout out to Ralph and James, who we spoke to earlier. We got a little radio interview with them, so they're going to be on Chaos Radio tomorrow. Whether they know it or not, I don't know. We've seen quite a few people as well, actually. It's definitely the place to be over the last few days here at Spaceport Cornwall. That's me throwing to you for some comments.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, no. It's there's been a hive of activity here happening, and I'm sure, as you will have seen, kind of in the local media, all of the kind of news channels have been carrying coverage of what's going on here at Spaceport Cornwall, and yeah, really kind of exciting lead up to the event, and where we are here on the northern side of the airport, it's almost like a whole village has been set up here. There's screens, speakers, kind of like marquees and tents everywhere. So yeah, really kind of exciting atmosphere. Everyone's really kind of looking forward to it. And we did notice as well that Newquay Airport, whether this was done recently or whether it was always planned, that the flights coming into the airport this afternoon were cancelled.
Yeah,
so
they'd cancelled a lot of the flights. Whether that was intentional or whether it was an operational thing, I don't know. But Good evening to Hannah on Facebook this evening. That's Hannah from Cornwall Weather Team. Says good luck with the weather. Winds have dropped, so that should be a good thing. Thank you, Hannah. Our friends at Cornwall Weather Team, make sure you check them out. They know their stuff when it comes to weather and Cornwall. Evening to Mia as well. Mia saying this is so exciting. Thank you for tuning in, Mia. I had a nice little chat with Mia earlier. Doing some chats about what was going on and stuff for the BBC. So thank you, Mia. Also, Shero, Chero, Cheryl Coaching.
Okay.
Shero Coaching. Good evening to you. Simply says whoop whoop.
Okay.
I think we share your enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's how
Shero.
we're feeling
Thank
this
you.
evening.
So yeah. Also, Tarian or Ty, evening to you, watching the stream tonight. Great to have you with us here on the Chaos TV live stream. So I think I'm right in saying the Virgin Orbit live stream has started, so we can bring you those pictures. So just bear in mind, bit different tonight. We're going to be doing commentary on top of some of the different sites. We've got our own feeds, we've got the Virgin feeds as well. So by the power of technology, hopefully Owen's going to give us a little preview. You're not going to be able to hear what's going on, but we'll be able to see what's happening on the official stream. Here we go. Look at this look. So they've set up shop in the media suite. There's lovely Melissa Thorpe. We love Melissa. She's head of Spaceport. And I was lucky enough to see her and speak to her yesterday. If you're familiar with Chaos TV, if you have been following kind of our coverage and build-up over the weeks, we've been doing, very kindly got offered to come and do a tour here of Spaceport Cornwall. And we caught up with Melissa yesterday off the back of the press conference, and I think she was excited. I think it's been years in the planning and really kind of pushing to develop Spaceport, and it's finally happening. So I know Melissa's going to be hosting tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a collaboration on the stream tonight. So we've got Melissa based here in Cornwall, and then forgive me, I am not sure of this chap's name, but he is based in the States.
Yeah, so real collaborative coverage. If you're familiar with space coverage, stuff SpaceX do, the stuff NASA do, you know, hats off to them, because we're having a go tonight at doing our own commentary and our own coverage. But it can be long-winded, it can be unpredictable. So good luck to them. But it's so lovely to see Melissa taking front and centre to tonight and hosting the coverage. It's being watched internationally.
Yeah, I think looking at the stream at the moment, there's obviously people from all over the world, over 30,000 people watching the stream, and I think at the moment they're just explaining about the Launcher One rocket, how it's a two-stage rocket. So obviously, yeah, it's a liquid oxygen and RP1, which is liquid kerosene. In both stages. Obviously the first stage much larger than the second stage, and of course you're going to be released just off of the Irish coast, and then flying down to around kind of Portugal, off the Portuguese coast, and then that's where we should see the kind of the payload separation.
And just before they cut to a video, it's saying expected takeoff at 1 minute past 10.
Yeah,
so that's good. That's ahead of schedule.
Yeah, so we're looking about 40 minutes or so now. So the countdown is well and truly on.
Great. And I don't know how well you can hear what's happening in the background here, but the media bus is getting busy.
It's very busy here.
So do bear with us, but hopefully it's sounding a nice... Owen's giving it the meh.
Okay.
So, you know, it could be worse.
I just saw a tweet here from our very own astronaut, UK astronaut Tim Peake.
Oh yes, remember Tim Peake?
Yes, he went to space, I want to say 2 years ago? Maybe even longer than that. But he's saying that he's excited for the Spaceport Cornwall launch tonight. And he'll be talking to BBC Newsnight later about the mission. He said it's taken a monumental effort from many to get this far, and let's make Launch UK routine. And we would like to see that. More launches from Cornwall,
Yeah,
please.
definitely. And I think tonight is very much about number one, isn't it? It's the first one.
Yep.
And if it all goes well tonight and it's all a big success, then that's setting the path for future launches. We've got a very established spaceport now that are flexing their muscles and showing off what they can do. Virgin Orbit have put a lot of time, money and effort into developing their transportation system. They've done a lot over in the States, and now they're bringing it here to the UK. So the infrastructure's there. The biggest thing they want now is the customers. They need satellite creators, people who are wanting to launch stuff into space, to have that confidence to be able to do that here in the UK, within Europe, get it over to Newquay, get it up in the sky. And I really hope that that tonight really sets that pathway forward, that we can start having regular launches here on our doorstep, because tonight it feels like a bit of a festival. It's all built up to this. There's been a few occasions where they've been ready to go, and then there's been setbacks, and that's typical with spaceflight, right?
Yeah, it's that's, I guess, a well-known thing of space launches, that they don't always go to plan. Even kind of NASA and their kind of decades and decades of experience and things, as we've seen with a recent Artemis mission, it never quite goes as they want it to. I think SpaceX are doing things a little bit differently. Of course, SpaceX being Elon Musk's baby. They kind of, I'm not sure what the exact phrase is, but they kind of reiterate, and they kind of fly their rockets and their vehicles to destruction, work out what the problem was, and they build a new one.
And it's a very different approach here, isn't it? So here it's down to the finer details. And we were lucky enough to go to the press conference yesterday, and Dan from Virgin Orbit was asked the question about, what things are going to potentially affect a successful launch tonight. And he said, look, we are mission first. It is all about making sure the mission is a success, the customer's payload gets into space safely. They're not afraid to potentially put things on hold, push things back. Of course, nobody wants to see that, and we really hope, there's a lot of people here tonight who really hope that doesn't happen. Nobody wants that to happen, but it is really mission first, and it is making sure they protect the integrity and the success of everything. Hopefully it'll go nice and smoothly, and hopefully everything will be on plan. We will see. We will find out.
Yeah, the clock is ticking. We're looking about 35 minutes or so now. And that's to takeoff, I believe, as well. So before takeoff, obviously, we will see Cosmic Girl with Launcher 1 attached under her left wing. We'll see Cosmic Girl taxiing along to the end of the runway. And then, of course, taking off out towards the sea and flying up towards the southern Irish coast. So nine satellites, small sats on board from various different clients, and I believe that one of the clients on board is the Ministry of Defence, and this is the first Ministry of Defence satellite to be launched in 20 years.
Wow!
So and it's
that's really exciting.
Here in Cornwall.
History is a word that's been used quite a lot tonight. We are making history for a lot of different reasons. Evening to just Jenna watching on YouTube tonight. Jenna saying 1 hour from now, launch window opens soon. Evening to you, Jenna. Thank you for joining us here on Chaos TV. It's very exciting, and do let us know where you're watching from tonight, whether you're here in Cornwall, Chaos TV, the Chaos Group. Hello to you. Maybe you're new, maybe you've stumbled across us on the infinite YouTube scroll. Very, very exciting. Do let us know where you're watching from tonight. You mentioned about Tim.
Yes.
Sir Tim Peake doing some media stuff.
That's right.
Can we please have a little talk about the game we've been playing today with local media? Because it's no secret, we're all very kind of nerdy media people. We love the radio and the TV side of stuff, and we're surrounded. We're really lucky to be on site with some real big international players like Sky, like the BBC, like ITN, and we've been playing a little bit of a media. What should we call it? Like chicken,
yeah,
I guess today, and trying to get on as many outlets as we could. So we've done quite well, I think.
We have done quite well. We've had quite a few messages from various people about, oh, we heard you on Radio 1 or whatever it was.
So we managed to get ourselves onto BBC Radio 1's Newsbeat this evening. So if you don't know, that's the one of the biggest national stations in the country, and we were having a little chat with them, and they made us sing, didn't they?
Yes, and then said that we were out of tune. How rude.
Very rude.
Yeah.
So we were singing Sam Ryder's Spaceman, of course.
Obviously.
So very, very cool for that. We've also made it onto Radio Cornwall this evening, had a nice little chat on Radio Cornwall about what was happening.
Yep.
We've been on kind of in shots, so if you've been watching some of the UK national TV, we've been on ITN, we've been on Spotlight, BBC Spotlight, we've been on Sky, I believe, as well. So I think we're doing quite well.
Yeah, I think we're doing quite well. We're getting out and about on TV. And
so look at this. We've got a nice shot here now of on the pad, and I guess they're beginning to start thinking about refueling.
Yeah, so the rocket is being fueled as we speak. Obviously, this one of the most dangerous kind of periods of the mission, and this is one of the reasons that there's such a big cordon around the airport. Obviously, where we are about 1.5 kilometres away from the 747. Cosmic Girl looks like just a small little plane from where we're sitting, but no, she's huge. So yeah, I think the cordon around the rocket is around about a kilometre, if not more. So yeah, obviously a pretty dangerous time, just in case anything does go wrong with that refueling process. But in theory, if we're looking at a takeoff time of just after 10 o'clock, which is only half an hour from now, fueling should almost be complete. Obviously, they'll have to do a few kind of final last-minute checks and that kind of thing. But I think we'll be almost at the stage where fueling is complete now.
So I'm just listening to some of the Virgin commentary, and they're just saying that fueling is about to begin. So that's exciting. Good evening to our good friend Stefan off of Creature Feature Show. Says, glad you're both live and Owen too. Please stay that way. Thank you, Stefan.
Stay alive? Or?
Well, he's put live, but you know, alive. Right. We will try and stay alive. Stefan, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Keep the dad jokes coming in. Evening to Jess. Hello to Jess. Jess is saying, Naif, what time does it launch? Well, Jess, that's a broad question. So, 1 minute past 10. They're saying on screen at the moment. It's expected for Cosmic Girl to take off.
That is exactly half an hour away.
But Pete, there's another probably hour on top of that before we actually see the rocket leave Cosmic Girl and go off on its own journey.
Yeah, so we think around about an hour between the takeoff of Cosmic Girl and then obviously flying out to the danger area just off the kind of southwest coast of Ireland. And then Cosmic Girl, once the Launch 1 rocket has been released, she'll then fly all the way back to Cornwall and land probably in around about 2 hours' time.
Cool. So, not anytime soon, guys.
No.
But stick with us because we're going to be here for the duration. Oh, and I wonder when you're ready if we could maybe bring up the map, the little animation of the proposed flying plan. So, Pete, just talk us through this. So, there's a bit of a flight plan, and also there's something called a cold pass and a hot pass. And Pete's going, don't ask me that. I don't know what that is. Somebody asked you that earlier, and I threw you under the bus on then, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I think we worked out effectively. The cold pass is like the test run, so they do the circuit in a test run, and if they're happy, then they prime the rocket, and if they go round again, and if conditions are right, off she goes.
Yes, that's a nice basic way of explaining it.
That's all I can bring you, my friend.
Yeah, no,
Basics.
that's all good.
Here we go.
So as we can see here, obviously the Cosmic Girl, the 747, will take off from here at Spaceport Cornwall and fly up to the southwest coast of Ireland, where she'll do the cold pass around and then do another pass, which is now the hot pass. And this is where the rocket is being kind of enabled and all the flight systems live, and that is where the rocket then gets dropped from the wing. Cosmic Girl then flies back and lands here, hopefully all safely back at Spaceport Cornwall. So that's kind of what Cosmic Girl is going to be doing. And then in this animation, does it also show what Launcher 1 does, or is this just a flight path?
I think this is just a flight path, I believe.
Okay,
yeah,
so from looking at this image, there we go. So from looking at that image, where the rocket is dropped from under the wing, it will then fly at a kind of southwest path down towards the coast of Portugal. Which is where we'll then see fairing separation. So we'll see, I think it's about a 3-minute burn of the second stage, of the first stage, sorry. Then we'll see separation, and then we'll see another longer burn of the first stage, and then we'll see fairing separation, and then we'll see payload deploy.
So just taking that back a few steps, obviously you and I, we like to watch a lot of space launches. SpaceX, very prominent. You can easily watch their stuff on YouTube, and they happen, sometimes a couple times a week. But a lot of viewers joining us tonight, especially people on Chaos TV, might not be familiar with terms like fairing, second stage. So just give us a bit of a breakdown of, if you can, some of the familiar kind of words that we're going to hear tonight. So let's start with the first stage.
Okay, so we'll see, obviously, once Cosmic Girl gets to the correct place, we'll see payload, or we'll see rocket release. So that's where the rocket, Cosmic Girl, the rocket Launcher 1 is dropped from the wing of Cosmic Girl.
So to be clear, Cosmic 1 is the aeroplane.
Cosmic Girl
is the aeroplane. And
Launcher 1
is the rocket. Cool.
Yes. And Launcher 1 is made up of 2 stages. So we've got the first stage, which is the bigger stage, or the bigger part of the rocket towards the back end. That's got giant engines underneath it to kind of, that's where we're doing the most power from the rocket to kind of get us up towards the right orbit and kind of up through the atmosphere. We'll then see the first stage, or stage 1, cut off. We'll see stage separation, which is where effectively the back end of the rocket is disconnected from the front end. The back end then kind of drops away into the sea, and then we see stage 2, or second stage, ignition. That rocket will then light and kind of power the payload forwards. We'll then see fairing separation, which is where at the very front of a rocket, kind of a nose cone, if you will, that's 2 parts which are joined together, and they kind of split apart. Because at that point you're kind of out of the atmosphere, you're away from kind of the main danger zone. There's effectively almost no air there, so you're fine to kind of have no protection around that payload. After the fairing separation, we'll then see second stage cut off, and then finally after a short coasting period, we'll see a second burn from the second stage, which will take us to the point where the payloads are going to be deployed. We'll then see stage 2 cut off, and then we'll see payload deployment, which is where the 9 small sats are released from the very front of the rocket. And hopefully we'll be able to see the majority of this through the stream, we're hoping.
It is very exciting. If you have any questions, we will try our best to answer them through the power of our combined knowledge, putting it out to the bus, and Google.
Google, yes.
Essentially, to try and answer your questions. You can get in touch with us, all the usual ways for Chaos TV, 01872 228844 on the WhatsApp. That's 01872 228844. Send us your questions on WhatsApp tonight. Maybe some pictures of where you're watching from. If you're having a bit of a watch party, maybe you're just enjoying a nice glass of wine in front of our coverage tonight. Either, we'd love to know. And of course, you can at us across social. We are streaming on YouTube, on Facebook. It's Chaos TV UK. And if you're on Twitter tonight, you can also drop us a tweet as well. That will come through right to us here on the media bus here at Newquay Spaceport. Here's a question for you, Pete.
Yes.
What do you know about the flight crew? Who's driving tonight?
Oh, okay. So we have seen some pictures of some of the team that are involved.
Oh, I thought I was going to catch you out on this.
Oh, no. So I am just trying to find the name.
Shall I set you off?
Oh, here we go. So the chief pilot, who's going to be flying Cosmic Girl, is Matthew Stanny. That's his nickname, Stannard. And I believe he is a Air Force or maybe Royal Navy pilot.
So, pilot in command.
Okay,
so the PIC. And I like how Virgin, in true Virgin style, have called it. It's a rocket star, rocket star.
Okay, yeah.
For Royal Air Force. Yeah, pilot of the Royal Air Force. Right. He has over 200 flight test hours and 3,000 flight hours under his belt, not to mention the additional 1,000 hours with the RAF aircraft Tornado, the GR4, and the Typhoon before joining the Virgin Air.
Wow, so a lot of
Virgin Orbit crew. So a lot of experience there. We've also got Eric Bippert. Eric is our flight lieutenant with 1,000 hours of experience in test flights and 4,800 total hours flying. Eric actually piloted Cosmic Girl for Tubular Bells, Above the Clouds, and Straight Up missions. So what you will discover with a lot of space launches, they like to give them funky names. Ours tonight is called Start Me Up.
Yep. Of course,
named
the
after the Rolling Stones song, yes. So, yeah, Eric, very versed on what he's going to be doing tonight, and he is the flight lieutenant. And then rounding off the Cosmic Girl crew, we've got a launch engineer. So we've got two launch engineers, Dayla Alexander and Bryce Schaffer. They'll be managing the airborne mission control room to ensure mission success. Dive down to meet the crew, it says here. So, Dayla joined in 2018 as a propulsion development engineer, and she was responsible for engineering multiple engine components, including the design and the analysis of Newton 4, the second stage engine. So, Dyla knows what she's doing. She's very familiar with the integral parts. And Bryce is the second launch engineer. Bryce has been with Virgin Orbit for 7 years, accumulating 50 plus flight hours on Cosmic Girl and 50 plus flight test hours. And he was aboard both of the launch demos, Tubular Bells Part 1 and Straight Up missions as well. The Virgin Orbit crew, I guess they started their journey over in the States, over in the Mojave Desert, where they've done a lot of tests, a lot of demo missions, and a couple of actual missions as well. So these guys know what they're doing, and I think it's an absolute pleasure to have them here in the UK, right here in Newquay tonight, and I feel like we're in safe hands.
Yeah, so this is our the 6th launch of Launcher 1, so yeah, and obviously the first from the UK and first horizontal launch from Europe as well. It's very exciting.
And lots of firsts tonight, which is very, very exciting.
I was just looking at a couple of the other people who are helping to make this launch a reality. Of course, a couple that we've seen a lot on TV and we've seen here around the side and spoken to. Obviously, we've got Melissa Thorpe, head of Spaceport Cornwall. We know Melissa.
We love Melissa.
And Ian, we saw yesterday on stage, who is the Deputy CEO of the UK Space Agency, really enthusiastic about the UK space industry and really doing more for us here in the UK and especially in Cornwall. He was saying yesterday that there's more sites around the UK that are potential spaceports. I think Glasgow
7
Airport,
wasn't there?
So really exciting.
Shetland Islands. I think they're working very hard for a vertical launch pad out there.
Because it's so remote.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Because we, like I say, have quite an interest in the space community, and Alaska have a spaceport, don't they? There's operations happening outside of Alaska.
That's right.
But it's very hit or miss. The weather can be very dependent. Operations can be far more challenging. I feel like the Shetland Islands are going to experience very similar issues.
Yeah, the weather's very temperamental, isn't it? And that's why you see a lot of rocket launches happening near to the equator and obviously on the coast.
Yeah.
You want them to ideally be launched over the sea, where if there is any problems, they can come down safely. Or obviously, like we see with a lot of kind of Russian launches in Kazakhstan, where there's barely anyone around. Because obviously, if these rockets come back down, they make quite a mess.
I need to say a big shout out to Danny watching on YouTube tonight. Also Alex. So Alex says people are recommending your channel on the Virgin stream.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Alex. If that's true, we're very humbled to have you. It's very much all about collaboration here at Spaceport Cornwall tonight. So whether you're watching on the Virgin stream or if you're joining us. Please do get in touch. So here we are now. Look, we can see this is coming in from the Virgin Orbit official stream, and fueling is carrying on over there. So this is happening live on the side of the runway here in Newquay. Pete, tell us, roughly what are we looking at?
So we've obviously got, I'm not sure whether you'd call them ground crew, which I know you would with a usual plane. Oh, look, there we go. So there is mission control, which is set up over here at Spaceport Cornwall. Looking at around about 16 to 17 minutes potentially until launch. So it won't be too long, hopefully, before we see Cosmic Girl leaving the spot where she is now. And obviously there you can see the ground crew are fueling the rocket through those pipes there. One of the most dangerous stages.
Whoopsie.
Oh dear, yeah.
He nearly fell over.
Yep, shows just how dangerous
Live
it is.
TV, everybody.
And obviously as soon as the rocket is fueled, they'll remove all of the kind of ancillary equipment there. Then once all the checks have been completed, Cosmic Girl will start her engines, taxi out to this extremely long runway here at Cornwall Airport, Newquay, Spaceport Cornwall, and then take off to the north, and off she goes. So we're still at the moment targeting 10 or 1 minute past 10 this evening, so about 15 minutes time. So it's getting very exciting now.
It all feels like, and I'm do I say this? It feels like we're on time. We're going. Things are going to plan. I've said it now. So we look to be on schedule.
Don't jinx things.
Yeah, you can see on the screen here on the left. So again, this is the Virgin Orbit stream that they're providing tonight. The team here. We've got expected takeoff time of 1 minute past 10. That's coming up very, very soon. Less than 15 minutes away. So things are getting very, very exciting. Again, if you want to get in touch, if you want to shout out, say hello, do get in touch with us tonight. Loads of messages coming in on Facebook tonight. We really appreciate that. We're streaming on the Chaos TV Facebook page. We're also on YouTube and on watchchaos.tv. Evening to Laura. Laura says, I wonder if I'll be able to see it outside the window here in Cornwall. I might go and stand in my garden. What do you reckon, Pete? What can people see?
Well,
if you're in Cornwall tonight, it's not raining.
No, it's not raining, but looking out the window, it's, well, not the window, just looking out the side of the open-top bus, it's looking pretty cloudy. We can't see any stars, so unfortunately, if you are living in Cornwall, unless you're living in and around Newquay, you're not going to see very much at all, I'm afraid, so best to watch the stream.
Yeah, I think the safest place is definitely the online stream. Hannah also saying, have they said where the first stage will fall? So obviously when the first stage is separating, and it's interesting, Hannah, you bring this up because we tried in a roundabout way in the press conference yesterday to get confirmation if the first stage is reusable, if it's going to be reclaimed, because reusability, sustainability, very, very important in the space industry. SpaceX have become very successful at doing that. And we don't really know what's going to happen with the first stage tonight, do we?
No, so I don't believe that it is reused or reclaimed. I believe that the stage 1 does drop into the Atlantic Ocean. There is a on the graphic which you might see, I don't know whether we've got it, but there is a graphic that shows the temporary danger area out in the Atlantic, which is no, we don't have it. No, okay. Well, it's quite a long area from the kind of southwest coast of Ireland down to almost in line with the kind of Portuguese coast. So there's quite a big area there, which I believe has restrictions, so there shouldn't be any shipping in that area at the time of the drop. So yeah, so the first stage will drop into the ocean, and hopefully that area is safe and nobody is going to be in that drop area.
So I hope that answered your question, Hannah. While Pete was explaining that, we just saw, I guess, pushback of the fueling system.
Yes, it looks like...
So things are really progressing well by the looks of it. We're still on our ETA for takeoff at 1 minute past 10, which is 10 minutes away, 11 minutes away.
Yeah, it does look like Launcher 1 has been fueled successfully. So it'll be final checks now. Getting Cosmic Girl all kind of ready for flight. And yeah, before long, we should see taxiing, I imagine.
Soon. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I would say this is your last call to go to the loo, get that cup of tea, get the extra tube of Pringles from the kitchen, because we're going to see some things happening very, very soon. Let's keep some more shout-outs coming on. Evening to Nicola. Watching, and Lucy, also Caroline, our lovely friend Caroline, watching tonight. She just had a little birthday. Happy birthday, Caroline. Lots of love to you. Sue is watching as well. Evening to you. Lindsay, our very own Lindsay from Chaos, has tuned in. Nice to see you on the stream, Linz. Francesca's on as well. Great to have you here. And Anne says, great coverage, Chaos. Well done. My daughter is watching at Spaceport. Go, Steph. Lovely. Hopefully Steph is having a lovely time. So in the public area, they've got a big screen up, big PA system. They've got the silent disco. There's lots of activities happening out there. And those guys really have a front row seat on the runway of Cosmic Girl when she taxis out and takes off. I think we're going to hear some cheering as well when she goes. I think the site is going to erupt. Yep. So really, really exciting.
The tension's definitely building now.
I'm just being told that it sounds like we're hearing some engine startup from the runway. Steph wants to know, how far away are we from the runway?
So we are in the press area, which is about 1.5 kilometres away from where the rocket is being fueled. So we're probably about a kilometre away from the runway, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. We can see Cosmic Girl very well from here, and standing up now on our media bus here, the crowds round the fence in the public viewing area are absolutely huge. I don't know whether we're able to get any shots of those, Owen, just to put you on the spot, but there are massive crowds of people over there. you can kind of just about see.
Yeah, that's some good work, Owen. Well done.
There you go. So you can just
not
about
easy
see.
on a very crowded media bus, and we have kind of tried to squeeze in. There's lots of photographers here tonight as well, very eager to get those shots of Cosmic Girl firing up and taking off, getting those magic shots. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that. We just get to chat.
Yes, we can chat
as much as we can on top of this.
And we get a nice view either out the window or on our multitude of different screens and devices and stuff we've got here.
And my very cold fingers.
I think looking out the window, we have Sky doing their live broadcast next to us, and I'd say we're rivaling them for the amount of equipment and stuff we've got here.
Here we go. We've gone back to Cosmic Girl now. So music's ramping up on site as well. So they're obviously getting very excited over in the public area. Keep your messages coming in tonight if you want to get involved. 01872 228844 on WhatsApp, and do comment below if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook tonight. My fingers have gone numb and I can't seem to get the chat back up on this one. Anyone know how I get the chat up on that?
Sorry to interrupt here, but I'm just hearing that Cosmic Girl is just about to start taxiing.
Okay. So this is the moment we've all been waiting for here in Newquay. We'll hopefully see a bit of movement. Thank you, Pete. Evening to Dan Pascoe, lovely Dan Pascoe joining us tonight on the stream, saying hello guys. Also Beth, lovely Beth, saying hi gang, tuned into Chaos with the family. Great to have you and the fam here, Beth, and hopefully we're keeping you company. Things are beginning to get very exciting here now as Cosmic Girl begins to think about taking off. If you can hear this rumble in the background, it's the PA system here that they're sending out into the crowds. I think there's lots of dramatic music being piped in because this is what we're waiting for. And what you're looking at here on stream tonight is our own feed, it's our own camera, zoomed in the best we can because we're quite far from the side of the runway for safety. A lot of the press we're as close as we can be, but I don't think that's bad. That's not too bad for our own kind of shots. Let's have a quick look at the Virgin stream if we can and compare.
Yeah,
so this is ours.
Is looking pretty similar actually.
And look, there we go.
So
they've just got a better lens.
Yes, and in fact, we can see the Virgin Orbit camera guys because they're right next to us.
They're literally right next to us, and they're loving it. So here we go. Look, this is a bit of a much closer angle. As you can see, expected takeoff still 1 minute past 10. That's less than 7 minutes away now. Very, very exciting.
We should
not much activity happening, no more than you can see. And I mean, some people might be surprised, Pete, that we're essentially looking at an aeroplane. You know, if you're going on holiday, especially here in Newquay, you taxi, you walk straight up to your aeroplane, don't you? That's essentially what's happening.
And obviously here in Newquay, at Newquay Airport, or Cornwall Airport, Newquay, we don't very often see 747s. Obviously, in more recent years, when it was the G7 summit, we did see, including Air Force One, president's plane from America, which is a 747, but we don't very often see 747s. But because we've got such a long runway here at the airport, it means we can cater for the much bigger planes. Obviously, back in the day, when kind of planes didn't have as much range and maybe weren't quite as reliable, Newquay was one of the kind of emergency runways or emergency airports. So if planes had problems kind of over the Atlantic, they could head towards us because our runway could cater for these bigger planes as well.
And that's one of the things that's made, I would say, or certainly got the Spaceport Newquay this far so desirable as an ideal spot. Again, when I think back to the press conference yesterday, Dan from Virgin Orbit, he said, you know, Newquay ticked a lot of boxes for them. It was central, it was great location, it had the resources, it could accommodate Cosmic Girl and all the resource that went with her. So it's a combination of a lot of history, a lot of luck, I think, as well, and a lot of investment.
Oh, and Cosmic Girl, as we can see, is
she's
now
away. She's
rolling
moving.
down
Off we go.
taxiway. We can hear in our ears, and I'm not sure, Owen, whether anyone at home can hear any of the stream. No, so we can hear.
We'll talk on top of them. It's fine.
We can tell you that the clearance has been given. Cosmic Girl is taxiing away from the point where she's been stood for quite a while now, because there has been various delays and issues with kind of getting the permissions on time and that kind of thing. And
yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Because a lot of this, to get to this stage, needs a lot of permission and authority from the Civil Aviation Authority, UK Space Authority have been involved to get clearance, to make sure it's safe to go, nothing's going to be in its way. But here we go, look, we're seeing live scenes of Cosmic Girl taxiing to the runway. She's off.
Yeah, so not long
route.
now. We're looking at just a matter of minutes until Cosmic Girl is at the end of the runway and, yeah, ready to take off. So, as we can see now...
now, this is hilarious to watch, Pete, because he's trying to watch the screen with the coverage, but also trying to look outside.
Well, I'm trying to work out how much of a delay there is on the stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we can see, obviously, side on here, Cosmic Girl taxiing down towards
there she goes. This is really, really
runway.
Exciting.
And yeah, just a matter of minutes until takeoff.
Evening to Victoria, who's watching on Facebook tonight. Also, Jonathan. Great to have you guys here. If you've just tuned in, if you've just stumbled across us, hello to you. It's Chaos TV. We're community broadcasters based here in Cornwall. And we're live at Newquay tonight, watching Cosmic Girl on her way. Hopefully we'll have a nice, safe lift-off.
And it's
and
amazing...
Then when she's in the air, we reckon we've got about an hour to wait before she's in position, ready to let Launcher 1, that's the rocket, and the payload, make their way independently off to space.
Yeah, so we will have a period here from when Cosmic Girl takes off. We then have a period of time where effectively we're waiting for an airplane to fly to the point that it needs to be. So not much happening kind of during that time, but right now...
We've got some nice night vision shots here as she taxis out to the runway. So what you're looking at here is the Virgin Orbit official stream. They've got a lot of up-close, on-board camera angles that they're very kindly letting us use tonight, and they're going to give us a front row seat. So for everybody watching at home tonight, do enjoy this, because they're going to get us the best seat in the house.
It's suddenly gone very quiet around the whole site here at Cornwall Airport, Newquay. I think
everyone's kind of bating their breath, aren't they? Like I say, there's a lot of pressure to get the right shots tonight, and you know, it's been a long journey. It's been a long time coming. We've had a few opportunities where this could have happened earlier in 2022, but they've taken their time. They've got everything in the right place. And here we are in January, and it's hopefully the first part of tonight's action.
And that's it. There is a lot of points where it could all go wrong tonight. So it's not just this first kind of launch or takeoff. We don't have success until all of those stages have been completed and the payload has been dropped. So, yeah, literally just a matter of seconds now. Cosmic Girl is almost at the end of the runway, and she's going to do a full 180-degree turn.
The question is Owen going to try and track her when she goes up? Oh, he is.
Right,
Owen is nodding. So, Owen, if you just joined us, our engineer, making everything work tonight. He's on the camera. He's going to try and track her as well. Pete might need to do some V-mixing as Owen tracks it.
Yes, we'll see.
Switching between
how
shots.
well Owen does here.
Evening to Mike, who's watching on Facebook tonight. Nice to have you here, Mike. Teresa and Otis as well joining us. Thank you for tuning in to Chaos TV's live stream here in Spaceport Newquay. Very exciting. We're moments away, look.
And it does look as though Cosmic Girl has almost completed that 180-degree turn, and we're now waiting for bated breath.
It's that funny bit, isn't it? We've all been there when we've sat on the plane and we're waiting for that big boost of thrust, and off she goes. Cosmic Girl obviously has got the weight of herself as well as the payload, and don't forget they're both heavily fueled as well tonight, so a lot of thrust to get her off the ground. And here we go, look. You can just see her taxiing up to the runway. Hopefully, the weather's not too bad here tonight. It's not raining. It's a bit, not misty, but mizzly. I would say. It's lurking.
And here we go. Cosmic Girl is taxiing, or is rolling on the runway.
Oh, let's go back to that other shot, I think, if we can. Oh, there she goes. No, there she goes, look. Oh, beautiful.
Goes. So
well done, Owen, for keeping up with her.
Cosmic Girl now travelling at around about 170 knots, already up at 1,000 feet.
So for people watching on the stream, you might be a bit confused. Our camera, obviously a little bit further ahead of the Virgin stream, so we saw it take off from our stream, and here we go. This is the Virgin. There we go. Look, there she goes. You can just see. You can just see Launcher 1 underneath as well.
Yeah, there is Launcher 1 under the left wing. Travelling at nearly 200 miles an hour here as we look on the stream. And at 1,000 feet, heading towards the target drop zone just to the southwest of the Irish coast.
I just got goosebumps. I've just got goosebumps. How cool is that?
Goosebumps, yeah.
We've just witnessed something very, very cool. There she goes. Evening to Hayley, watching on YouTube tonight, saying hi from Hayley and Lacey. Hayley, great to have you here. Lacey as well. I hope you're enjoying the coverage as Cosmic Girl takes flight. She's leaving Newquay. She's in the air.
So now we're in that period where we're waiting for Cosmic Girl to get to the correct point, and it's funny how as soon as she took off, it's now suddenly thinning out a bit, because I guess now here on the ground there's not going to be much for us to see in person until she comes back to land, hopefully without a rocket under her wing. So yeah, just a matter of a couple of hours and she'll be back, and hopefully the mission will be complete. So yeah, Cosmic Girl now travelling at over 270 miles per hour and at an altitude of over 5,000 feet.
So now we've got a bit of a wait. Now it's time for her to head on over to the kind of south coast of Ireland.
Yes.
Get to the right altitude, get onto the right flight path.
Yep.
And then she's going to do a cold pass, which is essentially a loop of the circuit. They're checking everything's good.
Everything's right and everything's good. And then a hot pass.
And then a hot pass, which is where, if everything's go, they'll release the rocket. She'll take over and head on up into orbit.
Yep. So I believe once the Launcher 1 rocket is released from the wing of Cosmic Girl, there'll be a couple of seconds where the rocket is in free fall, just to give Cosmic Girl enough time to get away from the rocket, and that's where first stage ignition will happen.
So if you're in Cornwall tonight, you might be lucky enough, if you're in the flight path of Newquay, to see Cosmic Girl fly over you, or certainly make a pass by. You actually live on the flight path, don't you? You get to see a lot of planes kind of coming into Newquay.
Yeah, so I live under the southbound, I guess you could call it, flight path. So I see on certain days when the wind is right, I see a lot of planes flying directly over my house, then coming into land at Newquay Airport. I remember a couple of years ago we saw obviously Air Force One and a couple of the big American military planes coming over, which was very exciting. So I imagine at the moment Cosmic Girl is directly north of Camborne if you're right on the coast, so maybe around kind of St Agnes, Portreath, that kind of way, you may well be able to look across and see the lights of Cosmic Girl up in the sky. But it's looking pretty cloudy. It's a bit misty. So
here's a question: can we follow Cosmic Girl on things like flight radar? We're
yes,
tracking her, so people can see live where she's going.
Yes, exactly. So if you go to either the Flight Radar app or flightradar24.com, you can do a search for Virgin Orbit or Cosmic Girl, and it should bring up the flight, which is happening right now. Cosmic Girl's registration number is N744VG.
Oh, check you out.
Yeah, so you'll be able to see that right now Cosmic Girl is directly north of St Ives, but quite a long way out to sea. So in today's weather, you might just about be able to see the lights, but it's doubtful. So yeah, keep watching the stream. Because hopefully when Cosmic Girl is getting to the stage where she's ready to release Launcher 1, we may well get some shots from on board Cosmic Girl looking down at the rocket and the release. Whether we'll see those live or not, we're not sure, but we're hoping that Virgin Orbit will be able to bring those to us.
So I'm going to try and bring us some flight radar without breaking Owen.
Okay.
So just give me a minute to work on that. You might need to just
yes,
to
I
chat
can
a little
fill for a little while.
I just need to ask Owen, the radio prep machine. Can we bring a feed from that if I get flight radar on? See, have a look.
A little bit of
so he's going to work on
behind
that
the scenes talking here. So yeah, Cosmic Girl currently travelling at about 350 miles per hour at an altitude of about 20,000 feet. First stage and second stage are both fully fueled and ready. So at the moment, everything is green for a go for drop when we get to the drop zone, and we've done the cold pass and then into the hot pass. So really, it's a case of just kind of watching and waiting now. We, as Niv said, we can track on kind of various flight tracking websites and apps to see where Cosmic Girl is. And right now, she is directly north of Land's End, so making swift progress. So travelling kind of... I would say west-southwest at the moment, and very soon she's going to be making that right-hand turn to head up to the southwest coast.
I think
of
we've
Ireland.
done it. Let's see if we can bring up flight radar. Here, look at this.
There we go.
Well
Look
done,
at that.
everybody. To give you guys some kind of idea. If you've missed earlier, we are on a double-decker bus in the media centre here at Newquay Airport with a lot of other press. We've got fellow photographers, our friends at Rewind Radio are here, and we've essentially got a couple of laptops and us doing commentary, remoting back into our studios back in Truro. But hey, look at this, look. We can look at this. So if you're on Flight Radar 24, you can do this yourself. You can track it yourself. We can see live coverage. So, Pete, how does Flight Radar work? How are we able to track where all the planes of the world are going?
So every plane, well, majority of larger planes, passenger planes, that kind of thing, have transponders on board. Each plane has its own call sign. And as I said, the call sign for this particular plane, the registration is N744VG, and yeah, there's a network of tens or hundreds of thousands of receivers, all kind of dotted around, all around the world, really, which track these planes and their transponders, and that information is all fed into a central database, which is what these apps and websites like Flight Radar use. And of course,
I think the community, if you're a big fan of aviation, plane spotting, people very, very aware of that. Anne on Facebook is saying, watching her on Flight Radar. Watching her in Godolphin Cross. Evening to Laura, Hannah as well. Hannah saying North Portreath Coast.
Okay, right.
So I think that sounds like
glimpse.
eyes on there, Hannah. Well done. If you did get to see her pass over you if you're here in Cornwall tonight. With Pat, lovely Pat, saying exciting stuff. Thank you, Pat, for joining us. Mia, we spoke to Mia earlier. Mia's been on to say, I've got. Yeah, we do really love it, which is great.
It's history being made right now. Obviously. Obviously the mission hasn't completed yet, but we are in the process of history being made. The first launch, orbital launch from the UK, and first horizontal launch for the whole of Europe, or whole of Western Europe. So yeah.
And I think if you are really excited about this, if you followed the journey, if you are self-proclaimed enthusiasts, stick around because we've seen Cosmic Girl take off here in Newquay. She's now heading off to the south coast of Ireland. We've got a bit of time to wait, so hang in there.
So I'm just looking here. The expected drop time is D for drop, so D minus 56 minutes and 23 seconds.
Great.
So we've got just under an hour until drop time, which by my brief calculations would be somewhere. So we're looking at about 56 minutes now until the drop.
Rambling on with our commentary. If you're enjoying it, do get in touch tonight. Good old Google.
That you need.
You can get in touch 01872 228844 if you're 844 on WhatsApp. We can also take your messages on Facebook and YouTube if you're in the chat there tonight. And give us a follow on Twitter if you Chaos TV. We're community broadcasters here in Cornwall. All part of the Chaos Group, which you may be familiar with. And if not, look us up, the Chaos Group. I'm thinking we should maybe bring some VTs into the mix. I think we've got... so I'm just talking to Owen behind the scenes here. So we've got... the EP1, EP2 and EP3, so we could play some of those back to back. So the Virgin Orbit team have been very kindly capturing the journey of Virgin Orbit, and more specifically Cosmic Girl, how she came about, and kind of getting us to today here in Newquay. So we've got a couple of short films to share with you now to kind of give you a bit more background about Cosmic Girl and Virgin Orbit. So stay tuned, just about 6-7 minutes and we'll be back.
Cosmic Girl 01, runway 12, clear to land, 130 degrees, 7 knots.
Come to watch the Virgin 747 come and land. Something different that you normally just see out of the US, so it's nice to see it so close to home.
It's massive, especially in the engineering workspace. A lot of jobs created. A lot of people I went to university with gone into sort of the satellite space company, so a lot of opportunity, not just Cornwall but the whole of the UK really. So yeah, it's massively helpful for us really.
We're just really excited to be here and to get started.
My message for UK launch is there's so much.
Expect it to feel like that, and it's the sound and the feel of this amazing aircraft behind us. To see it here in Cornwall has been amazing. But to be honest, it was just having my team and my family around, and all these people have.
I keep it moving instead of standing still. I'm like a man on a mission, call it tunnel vision. Feet go where they will. I'm seeing stars in the mirror.
I actually pinch myself every morning. We're just so fortunate to be involved in a number of really exciting projects. Europe has never put a satellite into space, and the wonderful thing about using a Virgin Atlantic 747 is that we can fly to any country and we can put satellites into space, and we can do it at a moment's notice. It's just great that that Great Britain is the first country in Europe.
Inspections we got to do here this morning.
It's still nerve-wracking. I'll be a little more comfortable when everything lands over in Cornwall. This is a big step.
Standard practice to have the flight dynamics team make sure the rocket was in a good dynamic envelope during transport, so that's why I'm pulling the data.
Yeah, there's a little bit of motion. The rocket sits in a cradle here, and it's on a spring suspension, kind of like your car. And when it transports, it moves up and down. You got the experts out here this morning that are knowledgeable about that component on the rocket, and they're doing some inspections and assessing it.
So we woke up early, we got out here early, come out, check on the rocket. It starts quiet as everyone's waking up, getting on with their workday. And then the activity kind of increases throughout the day. It's a combination of a lot of ambient background noise with aircraft engines and powered units running, but also truncated by the short bursts of directions from the people running the operation.
If you could bring that, we can wrap these.
So it's this combination and cacophony of sounds, and the end result is, loading the rocket onto the C-17 successfully, which makes for a great day.
So this morning when we arrived, the rocket was on the K-loader. The RAF had built up a pallet to give us a buffer for our suspension to be able to clear the fins for any suspension travel. The rocket on the pallet is actually taller than the door by about an inch.
They managed to get the fins inside. There's a plug on the top that's a little bit close, but they're keeping an eye on it. It looks like we might be good to go.
They did kind of like 2 steps where they lifted it up and moved closer, lifted it up.
Force has been greatly accommodating, so has March Air Reserve Base. Nothing but professionalism and great help from all those guys. The rocket is on the C-17 and we're going to England.
Got the rocket inside, they got the strap where they wanted to, they got all their margins. The rocket's ready to go.
The day that everything arrived was a crazy day because so many things happened during that day. In the morning, we had the ground support equipment arrived on a cargo 747. It was a big operation to get those things out of the airplane. And then a couple of people arrived with the GSC. The flight crew took Cosmic Girl out on another training flight over the water. We got a lot done, a lot of training. We landed at our possible divert site in the event that something goes wrong, so we knocked that off of our to-do list. We landed back in Cornwall, and then later that night we had the C-17 arrive with the rocket. So 3 major operations happening in one day, and then all of a sudden everything is here and everyone is together. It was really an amazing day for us, and we're kind of all just standing around watching the rocket come off the C-17, feeling like this is actually happening, and it's finally gonna happen. We're all here, and it was such a cool day.
I'm grateful to be part of it.
We feel a huge sense of togetherness finally being here. We've been pretty separated for a little bit because of the COVID pandemic. Some of us were working from home for a while. And at the beginning of this campaign, we had some people in Mojave, we had some people in Long Beach. But to really pull this off, we have to have a huge part of the team here on site. So at first it was just the flight crew and a couple of came in, and now it's like it's almost the whole team here. We still have a few more people we're waiting on, but it's really huge for us. Living so close to each other on the RAF base and going to work together every day for this one common goal of achieving this international launch mission.
I think there'll be a huge sense of accomplishment for the company once we've done this, not just for us, but Spaceport Cornwall, UK Space Agency, Civil Aviation Authority who regulated it. This is a first for a lot of people on many different areas. So the idea that we can go up there and accomplish a mission, yeah, it would be great.
This is a big deal for all of us. We're starting to really feel it now that we're so close to launch, and that we're starting to get such amazing responses from everybody in town and from the locals here. So we're really starting to feel the excitement, and it's just going to be really, really amazing for us and for everybody here.
Cornwall was talked about before I arrived here. It was a dream of the company that we can show that we've got an orbital rocket, and then we can go international. And the plan was to do other international sites first, but frankly, credit to Cornwall here and the spaceport with everything they've done. It was attractive to come here. All the infrastructure that's been set up for us. But I feel like as a company, Virgin we're in the right place now to do that first international launch with, you know, a good few launches behind us now.
So, welcome back to Chaos TV. It's our live stream coverage from Spaceport Cornwall here in Newquay. 25 minutes past 10 in the evening. And hopefully you've just enjoyed some nice videos from Virgin Orbit about the kind of history and the origins and the journey up to today. Nath here from Chaos TV, also joined by Pete.
Hello, the resident space nerd.
Yes, our enthusiast. Thank you for joining us on the bus tonight. If you just tuned in, thank you very much for tuning in to us. We are here on the media bus, which has gone very quiet now. Funny enough, now Cosmic Girl's in the air, everyone's scarpered.
It's lovely and roomy here now, isn't it? And of course, as you mentioned, Cosmic Girl is in the air.
I was watching the stream. You're looking at a live feed from our camera at the public areas. We're going to see some shots on board Cosmic Girl when she's in position, and hopefully on launcher 1, the engine as well. Is that right? Newton 3 engine?
That's
yeah,
right.
Thank you.
And on a kind of a NASA stream or something like that, we've even got things like the bus voltage of the two stages, both running at around about 28 volts. So yeah, currently Cosmic Girl travelling at around about 380 miles per hour at an altitude of 30,000 feet. Just travelling up there to the southwest corner of Ireland, off the coast. So yeah, we're thinking now, what we're looking at, about 40 minutes until the drop. Everything's looking good with the fuel levels. So yeah, green light still at the moment.
I like how Virgin Orbit have now also resorted to the crowd as well. So they're essentially looking at the crowd as well. Because, yeah, unfortunately not much to see at the moment. The aeroplane's making its way into position off the coast of Ireland. And obviously we're not getting some shots. So everyone's just kind of padding for time. We can see we look 26 minutes plus since we took off. Expected drop time in around 40 minutes time if everything goes to plan. Do keep your messages coming in tonight. We'd love to hear from you guys. 01872 228844. That's our WhatsApp number. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you're planning to stay up, are you staying up for the duration? We're not even halfway through essentially of the mission yet. So still, hopefully, lots to come and see and do. We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube tonight, so do use those comment sections. We'll give you a nice shout out. Keep it clean, though, guys. And we're on Twitter as well, at Chaos TV UK, if you want to get involved. Yeah, lots going on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, some people might be wondering, and we had some questions here earlier about Cosmic Girl. Obviously, she did used to be a plane that flew passengers for Virgin Atlantic. And people were asking about what's actually inside Cosmic Girl. Is there still rows of seats?
Great question.
What's in there? So no, there is in the main body. They did strip out all of the seats because obviously they want the plane to be as light as possible. And the only seats there are is in what would be the first class kind of area, the upstairs area in the 747 aircraft. Because that has been transformed into a small mission control room. Of course, launch engineers are on board Cosmic Girl, monitoring kind of all stages of the rocket. So that's the only flights really, just the upstairs, probably no more than kind of, 12, 14, 16 seats, something like that. Aside from the cockpit.
And I think the lot of the reasoning there for that is to reduce weight, isn't it? You know, we don't want huge amounts of unnecessary weight when we've got variables in payloads and crew, the amount of fuel that both the rocket and Cosmic Girl, the plane, need to take as well. So it's kind of minimal crew. We are told that there's our press on board. I believe there's photographer possibly on board. I believe I heard that. Maybe everyone's looking now. Where's your facts, Nathan? Maybe I've made that up. Who knows? But hopefully we'll see.
I believe there are press for Virgin Orbit on board the plane, ready to get some nice pictures as that rocket is released from the left wing. Of course, counting down now, we're looking at about 37 minutes to the big drop. But of course, before that, we do need to go through the various final go and no-go calls. So I guess that's kind of the next stage we're waiting for now. Once they get to that kind of racetrack pattern, that's where all the final calls will be made. And if that is a go for everything, then we should see a launch in or a drop in just over half an hour's time.
Owen, if you could just take us back to flight radar, and we'll check in to see where Cosmic Girl is. You don't forget you can do this yourself. Flight Radar free website, mobile phone app. You can track Cosmic Girl. So wow, look, she's made some really good progress. Heading into position. You'll probably notice a lot less air traffic around her as well, which is really kind of self-explanatory. Want to give her wide berth, especially if rockets are going off.
And that's obviously the main reason for the mission happening at this time of night is because of the payloads and the fact that certain satellites from those 9 satellites on board need to go into a specific orbit, and the only way to do that is to release them at a certain time of day. So at the moment we are obviously waiting for that time to arrive.
I've got lots of shout outs to join in with,
Okay.
and I'm just being told by one of our lovely new friends here on the media bus that Cosmic Girl is the most tracked flight in Flight Radar history.
Really?
Tonight.
Tonight?
Apparently, with more than 141,000 people watching
right now
this flight tonight. Wow. So second coming in at around 16,000. So a lot of interest. Speaking of interest, good evening to everybody watching on Facebook tonight. Lots of you sharing the love, which we really appreciate. Evening to Melissa. Say, will we be able to see anything in the sky once the rocket is launched in the UK?
So
probably not, by the sounds of it.
There was a potential there. If it had been completely clear skies tonight, you may have seen a glow from when the rocket's engines were ignited, when that first stage is ignited. But looking at the weather today, no, we can't see anything. So no, you're not going to be able to see anything, I'm afraid. So keep your eyes peeled to the stream, because that's going to be your best bet for seeing this rocket igniting and flying up into orbit.
Evening to Scott on Facebook. Scott saying, pretty sure I saw the lights of the plane from Tintagel tonight. Good chance you saw that, Scott. Well done if you got to see Cosmic Girl make a pass here in Cornwall. Gina watching on social tonight, thank you. Tammy said, pretty sure I saw the lights very faintly from Red Ruth. But yeah, definitely a good chance you saw that, Tammy. Evening to Ralph. I was saying, listening on holiday, visiting my son in New Zealand. 11:32 a.m. here, so give us a shout out. Hi, Ralph, listening in New Zealand. Some international viewers tonight. Great that you've found your way onto Chaos TV, and we really appreciate you joining us tonight. Mert saying, kind of what's happening now? Well, Cosmic Girl's making her way into position out in the Irish Sea. Is that the Irish Sea?
Yes.
Yeah, I got that right, haven't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
My geography is rubbish. Steve, evening to Steve, saying hello, New Zealand. That's to Ralph from Cambridge. So people making friends in the chat tonight. Really appreciate that. And also Mark as well. Great to have you here. Keep your messages coming in on Facebook. And then over on YouTube, because of course we're streaming on YouTube as well tonight. Lots of you getting involved there tonight. People saying watching with my family from Ghana. Fantastic.
Oh, lovely. Hello
Great to have some
Ghana.
international viewers on stream tonight. Kerno Weather Team, our friend, saying, hi, all looking very chilly.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
it's quite chilly
It's a
still.
bit cold,
I can
isn't it?
confirm.
We're all in
it's
gloves and
definitely
hats
chilly here on the bus. Evening to our friend Dan, lovely Dan Pascoe, saying, as two space enthusiasts, what does it mean to you both to witness what we've seen tonight?
It's history, isn't it? It's history being made. And yeah, as a space enthusiast, it's amazing. Obviously, it's not quite the same as seeing a vertical launch and hearing that roar of the rocket going up, but it's the next best thing. We've seen one of the world's biggest aircraft taking off from our home soil, from very close to where we live, and yeah, carrying the first orbital rocket to be launched from the UK. So it's incredible. It's one of those moments where you'll look back. I think we were talking about this yesterday, saying, do you remember where you were when certain events happened? And yeah, when the first rocket was launched from the UK, we'll remember that we were at Spaceport Cornwall watching it go up into the sky.
And I think for me, it's very much a lot of love and admiration for being able to be part of this tonight, because we've said before, Spaceport Cornwall have embraced the community and really tried to open up the doors where they can to help people invite them in and understand what's going on and play their part. And I think certainly for me and for the Chaos team, it's been an absolute pleasure to be part of that journey and to capture the journey on the night. Like Pete said, be part of the history. And yeah, we love just sitting here and, we're chatting on about our very limited knowledge of space flight and all these exciting things. And to have you guys as part of this is great. Oh dear, Owen, our space flight
our
free session has timed out, so we might
dear.
need to just go back while I fix that. There we go. Let's go back to the Virgin Orbit stream while we refresh that. A few more questions, if you don't mind, in the chat. Aaron, evening to Aaron, saying, watching from the Falkland Islands. I mean, we've got no way to prove. This could be my mum. With lots of aliases, just saying she's wearing. But I do hope you are watching in the Falkland Islands.
Yes.
And Aaron, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Useful links on YouTube in the chat tonight, saying
checking us here.
The most viewed flight on Flight Radar was the RAF plane carrying the Queen Elizabeth's coffin. Yeah, again, I couldn't back that up.
No, and I imagine
we've got some big viewers tonight.
Yeah,
so thank you for that.
That's the
confirmation.
Maybe what we're watching now is the most watched, most tracked plane on Flight Radar currently.
Live, yes. Of course, because Flight Radar you can check back as well. But we really appreciate your comments. Keep them coming in. Patrick saying, great show, guys. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Keep your messages coming in, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Hey, guys. Big Boss Babs has been on.
Oh, okay. She's still awake.
She's still awake.
Right.
At 20 to 11. Just messaged, this is unreal after a long day. It almost feels like makes believe. So thank you for supplying the coverage tonight. We are honoured, Babs. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, Babs, Big Boss Babs, as we call her, MBE.
Yeah,
she'll hate me saying that. She is our big boss here at Chaos, and she is. It's all her fault why Chaos is a thing.
Yeah,
and
right.
We've got so much admiration for her, and I think. She's had a very long day doing lots of stuff to help push Chaos forward and make a big change in the community. So lots of love to you, Babs. Thank you for joining us. I imagine she's all tucked up in bed, listening.
Nice
and I
and
suspect
warm.
Farmer Dave is snoozing.
I would like
away.
to be in bed right now.
Would you?
Not missing this, but just nice and warm.
Right.
I mean, if I have
With
my bed
Farmer
up here
Dave,
on the
or?
bus. Well, maybe not with Farmer Dave.
Right, okay.
But there we go.
Sorry, over to you.
Just going back to to the stream or to the flight here, because of course Cosmic Girl currently is almost, as we can see from the tracking here, almost in that racetrack pattern. So we'll be waiting for the cold run, where all of the go and no-go polls happen, where we find out kind of whether everything is set and ready to go. Currently calibrated at 30,000 feet, and with around about 27 minutes to go until the drop. So we are counting down and waiting with bated breath to hear the next stages of tonight's mission.
And I think if you've just joined us, thank you for tuning in. Lots of people staying up late tonight, tuning in from around the world to be part of the broadcast, the experience, the story. Because I guess for a lot of people, they can kind of say, you know, oh, I remember when this happened, or I watched this, I got to take part in this. We are just waiting. It's this kind of weird weighty bit. It happens with a lot of space flights and missions. SpaceX very prone to this as well, where we have to wait for the next thing to happen, but do stick around. Keep your messages coming in. There's lots happening on Facebook and YouTube, so we really appreciate everyone getting involved tonight. Kay saying, I'm from Chester. Very exciting times. Great to have you here, Kay. You're right, it is really exciting. I think it's not only for the people here in Newquay, the people here in Cornwall, but the UK and around the world tonight. People are really tuning in and celebrating what's happening. Nicola, hello to Nicola, saying, I did ask them to put Stefan on the rocket, but they declined.
Oh.
So shout out to Nicola. Nicola, for those of you who don't know, is from the Creature Feature Show. She does a show with her friend Steph and Chip the dog over on Chaos Radio. That's our sister station, Chaos Radio. Check us out on thisischaos.co.uk. Sorry, Nick. I'm afraid you're stuck with him until the next launch. Barbara on Facebook chat saying, first time I've watched Chaos TV. Thank you for your coverage. Excellent stuff. Barbara, thank you for tuning in and getting involved and joining us here on the coverage tonight. If you don't know much about Chaos TV, we're a community TV channel set up during the pandemic here in Cornwall. The Chaos Group we're part of does lots of different things. We've got a care company, we've got a hair and beauty salon, we've got a farm which does a lot of nature intervention. We do social prescribing and employment programs. There's loads happening with Chaos. It's a not-for-profit set up to do good here in Cornwall, and we are part of the digital side of that. So very excited to be hands-on tonight and bringing you some of the coverage. And thank you for listening us to waffle on. More of these, Pete. Sorry, we've got Wendy saying, I've watched a NASA launch before. Amazing, Wendy. I'd love to know which NASA launch you got to see. But so this is so exciting, happening in our homeland. Couldn't agree with you more there, Wendy. Amazing. Scott on Facebook saying, great show, guys. Thank you very much, Scott. Great to have you here. Also, Teresa saying, actual launch from UK. The UK onwards to many, many more. Yeah, definitely agree with you, Teresa. I think lots of exciting times ahead. Hopefully tonight will be a complete success. We've seen step one, the liftoff of Cosmic Girl, and it was electric here. I've got to say, the people here on the media bus and around the site were bated breath as she took off. It was quite a sight, and it was a pleasure to be part of that. Thank you, Pete. How do I pronounce this name? Apologies, I'm rubbish with names. Pete's going to have a go.
I really don't know. Is that an Irish name?
I reckon it could be. Go on, have a go.
Is it Scuderia, maybe? I'm very sorry.
Apologies if we've rubbished that up. But basically on Facebook chat saying the sea south of Ireland is also known as the Celtic Sea. And I should know that. I'm ashamed that I don't know that, being here in Cornwall and fellow Celts. So thank you very much for that as well. Yeah, great stuff. What we are going to do is just take a little tiny break. What can we leave our viewers with just for a few minutes while we do a bit of a boring battery change behind the scenes here? Integral. Say again? Oh yeah, so yesterday they had the official press conference here at Newquay Spaceport, and we were invited along, and I caught up with Melissa Thorpe, who is the head of Spaceport Cornwall. She is one of my favourite people, I've decided, and here's what she had to say.
Hey, look, here's a familiar face. It's only Mel Thorpe, everybody.
Hello, I'm back.
She's back. Yeah, look, fast forward to, when we spoke to you a while ago about, it was like the early days, wasn't it, of getting ready for the launch. Here we are on night before launch. How are you feeling?
Yeah, just so excited. The nerves hasn't kicked in yet, but I'm sure they might, but it's just adrenaline now. It's adrenaline, coffee, and excitement. Yeah, we're pumped.
And it really is feeling, certainly for us, a reality to have launch happening here in Cornwall. And for you, of course, it's been on the cards for years. But, how are you feeling in terms of actually seeing things come together, and the international space community is all eyes on Newquay?
Yeah, it's quite surreal. I was driving home back from site last night, and my voice came out of the radio again, and it's just all it is surreal. But we're just so proud to be representing Cornwall on the world stage in the way that we are, and showing them a little bit of this amazing county. Just the Virgin Orbit team, all the international media that will be here, as well as tomorrow having a lot of international space companies as well. It's kind of like a little mini G7. It's another chance, but this time we can open it up a little bit more, invite public up onto site, and we're really excited for that.
And I think the community, the public, are really on board with what's happening, aren't they?
Oh yeah. We have tickets to come in and view the launch, even though it's going to be at night, in the dark, all of that. And we crashed Eventbrite. It crashed. I think somebody said that we sold more tickets per minute, and they're free, by the way, but we sold more tickets per minute than Glasgow. And we've had people over the years saying nobody's going to want to come and see it. It's just a 747. It's not that exciting. And I'm like, no, it's so, people want to come and be part of history. And when does something like this ever happen these days? So it'll be so much fun.
And I know we're really focusing our energy on the launch today and tomorrow and this week. What is in store for the future? Because I know this is like the first one. This is setting the precedent now, and I really hope that we get to come back and do coverage for every launch that happens. But it's an exciting time.
Yeah, and we're already starting, as Dan said, we're already starting to look at what's next. Another launch with Virgin this year, each one just getting easier and easier, and hopefully in the summer when it's warm and in daylight would be really nice. But yeah, and working with so many other businesses, I can't explain how much interest there is in coming to locate at the site now. So we'll be picking up a lot of those conversations. I'm really keen to build up the engagement with the community, get more people up here to see what we've been up to, because we haven't been able to really do that yet. Out into the schools, we have a full culture program that we're going to be working on as well. So getting the arts back into space and culture into space. Cornwall's got a really unique link to space, and I want to bring that back again. So many different things. Our sustainability work that we're working on. It's endless. That's actually what a lot of the busy time's going to be, I think, is after the launch.
And we spoke a little bit of that in the press conference about the sustainability, the reusability, and the kind of the future stuff. Can you tell us a little bit more for people who missed that?
Yeah, so we are very proud that we're being as transparent as possible about this launch. And that is, firstly, our carbon impacts. We've done a whole life cycle analysis around it, so it's not just one part of it, it's everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, because only then can we understand what we need to do to change. So we have a steering group that we're going to be it is being formed at the minute, and they're just going to help guide us towards, first of all, carbon neutrality, and then, can we go beyond that? Can we work with Virgin Orbit and the technology to do a fully carbon neutral and then net zero spaceport? Could we be the world's first? And I really truly think if everybody gets behind us that we definitely can do that, so that all this life-saving technology that goes into space can do it in a way that's not hurting our planet. So a lot of that work's going to get underway. A lot of it's already underway, and we're really just pushing that and then challenging other people to do the same in the space industry. It's time for the industry to wake up and start to take this seriously.
And I love that you referred to yourself as an environmentalist in that press conference, which people might not put two and two together when they think of space launches. So having someone like yourself as head of Spaceport can really embed that into the future.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? My background, my family, my upbringing, 100% I'm an environmentalist. Nature is me, and for me it's important that people like me are in industries like this because it helps shake it up. And unless you can get some of these big industrial players to think differently about how they do things, it's going to be really challenging. So for me, it's important that I'm in the space industry, I'm in launch, and I'm starting to have these conversations, and I'm starting to get regulations changed, and we're starting to get big operators to change the way they do things. That's how we can fundamentally, start to change things in a positive way. So 100% I'm an environmentalist. I've never said I wasn't. And for me, I'm in the best place to be able to do that.
And just quickly, what does tomorrow look like for you now? You can put your feet up, right?
I have some rehearsals to do tonight, and then I am up and back here, I think at like 5 a.m. or something. I might try and catch a nap, because then we're back on site, and I think we'll be going definitely through the night tomorrow. So my parents get in from Canada tonight, so I'm very excited that they're going to come and be here for the launch. And my girls will be here, so it's going to be a big family moment as well.
Love it. Well, best of luck tomorrow. We're going to be here, and let's hope it all goes really well and catch up soon.
Yeah, and thank you always for always chatting to me, and I love chatting to you guys and obviously your viewers. You didn't pay me to say that. I really do mean it. I love it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mel. So that is it from us here at Spaceport Cornwall. Very exciting. Everybody is raring to go, and we wish them all the luck with the launch. Stay tuned. You're going to be able to catch our live stream on Monday evening, anytime from 9 p.m. We can't give you a too specific time because it depends on the variables, but keep tuned to our Facebook, our LinkedIn and our Twitter. It's at Chaos UK, and we're going to give you live coverage as it unfolds right here in Newquay. Keep it chaos.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the Virgin Orbit Cosmic Girl and Launcher 1, live from Newquay. That was Melissa Thorpe there. She's a babe, isn't she? Love her.
We like Melissa, don't we? Yeah.
She is head of Spaceport. I'm very lucky enough to speak to her yesterday. I have seen her today, and bless her, she was looking... I'm not going to lie, a bit tired. It's been a long week for Melissa, and I know she's been very, very excited and very influential in getting today to happen. Hopefully, somewhere she is chilling with a Prosecco somewhere now, I'm hoping, and she's enjoying the silent disco that looks like it's kicking off quite well.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of people heading down to the
silent disco looking a lot busier than it was earlier. My name's Nathan. Hello to you. If you just tuned in, if you just discovered us, we're on Chaos TV. I'm joined by self-proclaimed space enthusiast Pete.
Yeah, I'm the space nerd.
You are our fax man, hopefully.
And currently we are tracking Cosmic Girl just to the southwest coast of Ireland. And as you can see from the screen here, Cosmic Girl is currently in that racetrack holding position on the first kind of cold run, where they're doing all of the checks, a go/no-go poll to make sure that everything is as it should be. And yeah, we're looking at about 13 minutes, hopefully, until the drop. Cosmic Girl at 30,000 feet. Just there to the southwest of Ireland.
There's not a huge amount to see as we wait, as Cosmic Girl gets into position. We're looking at flight radar, live tracker. That's taking information from the devices on board. We've also been having a look at the Virgin Orbit stream as well, because we're hoping to bring you some pictures from the official stream. They've got cameras on board Cosmic Girl and Launcher 1 as well, the rocket. So hopefully we'll see the release of Launcher 1 as she releases from Cosmic Girl and makes her way into space. And then, hopefully, we'll see the release of the payload as well. So when she gets into orbit and releases the satellites on board, we'll get some nice views of that. But until then, not much to look at the moment. I have got lots of shout-outs to keep coming your way, though. Thank you for everybody tuning in on Facebook and YouTube tonight, and at watchchaos.tv as well. Evening to Joe, our very own Joe from Chaos, saying, "Evening all, hope you guys are having fun." Are we having fun?
I think we're having fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit
Thumbs
cold,
up on the
but
media bus.
it's all good. We're having fun here.
Who's going to get my coffee soon? I haven't got a Henry with me today to get me a coffee. Normally there's a Henry here.
You might have to go and get one yourself.
Get myself, right, okay, rubbish. Wendy's been back on. Remember Wendy,
Hello, Wendy.
who saw the NASA launch?
Yeah.
Wendy says, it was 1996 in October.
Wow.
And I watched from my hotel balcony. Although I hate to say, I can't remember the name of the launch.
Oh.
I don't blame you, Wendy. That was a while ago, but I can imagine very memorable, and I'm very, very jealous. And I'd love to hopefully one day see a vertical launch, be it SpaceX or NASA, in person.
And, you know, I can vaguely remember those launches from the 90s, because that was just when I was kind of getting into space, watching the shuttle missions launching from Cape Canaveral there in America. And yeah, that was really what kick-started my interest in space at a very young age in the 90s. But yeah, I can still remember them, watching them with my mum and dad and stuff.
Evening to Stuart, watching on stream tonight. Also, Mary says, amazing, please shout me out. And my son Alex. Hello, Mary and Alex, watching the Chaos stream tonight. Great to have you here. We really appreciate your involvement tonight. And I hope you're enjoying being part of history tonight, which is very exciting. Paul has said hello from Chesterfield and Derbyshire. Great to have you here, Paul. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. Joe saying, different Joe saying, we can see the turn now. Yeah, we can definitely see the curve as Cosmic Girl gets into position and starts doing the kind of loop. Steve saying holding pattern has commenced. Yes, very exciting, Steve. So yeah, that's our friends on Facebook. Keep your messages coming in over there. Let me swap to my other phone because, like I say, we're just on a double-decker bus on the air strip at Newquay. Lots of messages coming in on WhatsApp now. Thank you very much for getting involved. If you do want to speak to us on WhatsApp tonight, 01872 228844. If you're here in the UK, that's 01872 228844. Let me just refresh my chat a moment for YouTube. Oh, I've got very cold fingers, everybody. I'm not going to lie.
It is getting pretty chilly now, isn't it? It's 11 o'clock at night.
Is it past your bedtime, Matt?
No. My bedtime's not for a couple of hours yet. I'm all good. I can't be tired on a momentous day like this anyway.
I think I might have broken this, so you might need to just take over for a minute. What's coming up? We're not too far away from seeing some more action.
No, less than 10 minutes now until the drop. We're hoping, fingers crossed. Cosmic Girl is in that kind of racetrack holding pattern, doing this cold pass where they're checking everything out and making sure that things are as they're meant to be. And yeah, we're looking at around about just less than 9 minutes now, hopefully, for the drop. So we'll keep an eye on the Virgin Orbit stream, because I'm not sure whether they'll have cameras on board the plane and on board the rocket, but we're hoping they will. So we'll have to see.
We're kind of in the dark, like you guys are, but hopefully it seems to be the precedent these days, doesn't it, to bring audiences with us. We see SpaceX and NASA really buying into it, so hopefully Virgin have put a lot of effort into that tonight. We'll be able to see some stuff. Good news, I fixed my YouTube chat. Evening to everybody on YouTube tonight. Paul saying hello from Chesterfield. Oh, I think you were on Facebook, Paul. Great to have you here. Cheryl, our very own Cheryl Gordon from Chaos Radio, saying this is a truly exciting day for Cornwall and for Chaos. Great work, guys. Thank you, Cheryl. Shameless plug. Saturday mornings from 8 o'clock on Chaos Radio. You can join lovely Cheryl. And we've actually been going around the site tonight and getting a lot of what they call vox pops, so clips and reactions and conversations from some of the people who've come along to Spaceport Cornwall tonight. And that will be on Cheryl's show on Saturday. You can enjoy that. So that's coming up on Chaos Radio. Jason, hello to Jason, says, how far from the aircraft does the rocket drop before it fires up?
Surprisingly, not very far. So on that release, that drop from the aircraft, Launcher 1 will obviously start falling, and it's about a 2-second free fall. So the rocket probably only is about 100 meters or so away from the plane when it ignites. So yeah, not too far at all.
I'm hoping Owen will just pop over to the Virgin Orbit feed, so we can just leave Flight Radar for a minute. And we've got a nice animation going on. They're obviously taking some
exactly
data
what's happening.
Of what's happening. As we begin to do that loop you can see coming into form now. Hopefully, Jason, that answered your question. Thank you, Pete. JP says, congrats from one Celt nation to the Celts in Cornwall. Thank you, JP. I feel like we're sharing this tonight because although Cosmic Girls started here in Cornwall, in Newquay, now very much just off the coast of Ireland tonight, so you're playing your part, and hopefully you guys can see some stuff with your maybe telescopes, binoculars. So you might get a little glimpse over on the south coast of Ireland, depending on the weather tonight.
A lot more of a chance to see Cosmic Girl from there in the very southwest coast of Ireland than we've got here.
Andy, good evening to you. Says hello from Sheffield in Yorkshire. Great to have you here, Andy. Thank you so much. I know our very own Lindsay from Chaos is up in Yorkshire at the moment. Enjoying some time up there. So yeah, lovely to have you on board. Paul also says, I've been to Newquay. It's a nice place. Well, Paul,
nice.
I do agree. It gets cold in winter. I'm not going to lie. But hopefully you can come back to Newquay soon, and maybe you can catch a launch as well. So yeah, great to have everybody. Keep your messages coming in on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to follow us on social, it's at Chaos TV UK. Just a reminder, we are watching currently the Virgin Orbit live stream. They're also trying to fill a bit of time like we are. Richard Branson currently on screen. So Richard Branson and Virgin. But he's a bit more involved than just that, isn't he?
Yes, Richard's a bit like Elon Musk and how Elon likes to get very involved with his companies and SpaceX. Richard Branson's very much the same. He's really into space, and of course Virgin Galactic was his first kind of foray into space. Of course, Virgin Galactic taking humans into space, and we are looking at Virgin Orbit. Which, of course, this mission, the 6th mission of Launcher 1, first one from here in the UK, is taking 9 smallsats into orbit. Currently looking at around about 4 minutes until the hopeful drop. So we'll see. We're about to enter the hot run of that racetrack circuit.
So this is what we're currently seeing is the cold run.
So this is the cold run,
okay.
And you can see where Cosmic Girl is now on a pattern to almost get in line with where she just flew. Yeah, that's why we're now targeting less than 4 minutes to the drop. So yeah, and as soon as the rocket's away, Cosmic Girl will start that flight back to here at Spaceport Cornwall in Newquay, and we hopefully should see her coming into land within the next hour.
So stay tuned. We are not going to go anywhere. We're here hopefully for the duration, so we're going to get into that hot run very, very soon. Hopefully we're going to see some pictures from Cosmic Girl and Launcher 1 as some action takes place, and then hopefully some shots from Launcher 1 as she makes her way into orbit, and then for Cosmic Girl to make her way back here to Newquay as well. So still plenty of action to come. It's 5 minutes past 11 here in the UK if you're watching outside of the UK. More messages to go through if you'll have some. Evening to Debbie, saying hello from Paisley. Great to have you here, Debbie. Thank you so much for joining us. Stuart says, thanks, guys. Great show tonight. Appreciate that, Stuart. Thank you. We've been here since midday today, kind of getting amongst our friends of the press and bedding in. We're currently on a double-decker bus parked up in the media area with everybody's gone. It was full, and there's literally nobody here now.
It's suddenly gone very quiet, hasn't it? I think the photographers have all gone to a different spot here at the airport to try and get a nice shot of Cosmic Go coming in.
Joe, evening to Joe, says, can I get a shout out for Noah watching history being made in the Midlands? Hello to Noah and to Joe. And thank you for being part of this journey. Yeah, we are watching history tonight. It's very, very exciting. And we appreciate everybody who's come and joined us on Chaos TV here tonight. We're a local community-based broadcaster here in Cornwall. Very privileged to be here at Newquay tonight. And we appreciate national and international audience. Great to have you here. Mary says thank you. And hello from Stratford-upon-Avon. Appreciate your time and your presence here, Mary. Thank you. Tracy, get this right. Tracy's got it right. Tracy says, I'm lying in bed watching. Just hope I don't crash before anything exciting happens.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Don't fall asleep,
well,
Tracy.
Don't fall asleep because we are literally targeting less than 2 minutes now. In fact, just over 1 minute to the drop.
Okay, so we'll keep a very close eye on what's happening here on the Virgin stream. I'll keep doing a few more shout-outs if I may. Alan says, I was at the first Columbia space launch in 1981 in Cape Canaveral in Florida, and it felt like the air was being ripped apart during that launch. Amazing, Alan. I'm so jealous that you managed to see that, and thank you for joining us tonight. A very different type of launch here in Newquay, obviously a different technology, but amazing, something to experience, and that's fantastic. Paul saying hello from Stourport in Worcestershire. Have I got that right?
Okay, that looks right.
I'll take that. Hello to you, Paul. Thank you so much. Apologies for my bad pronunciations. Don saying hello from Nottingham, and thanks for the great coverage. However, hand on heart, I have to say that watching the live Apollo launches in the late 60s and the early 70s was rather more spectacular. I've got to agree with you, Don. I can't ever say I've witnessed a vertical launch, a lot more dramatic and a lot more to see and do and feel. But we're loving being part of our own little slice of space history here tonight in Cornwall.
Just to quickly interrupt you briefly, Nathan, we are now drop ready. It has been confirmed that that Launcher 1, all systems are go. We're drop ready, so we're just waiting for the call from Virgin Orbit as to when that drop might happen. Could be any minute now.
So we are moments away. Hopefully we're going to be able to bring you some coverage from Virgin Orbit aboard Cosmic Girl. But anything could happen. We're literally following along the feed, the live coverage like you guys are. So do stay tuned. We're just listening here in Cornwall Spaceport to some of the comments being made on the PA system. They're just giving an update to the crowd, so we're just trying to listen to that. But we think...
just if we keep an eye on the stream, it does look as though there is a camera on board the plane. How much we'll see, I'm not sure, because it is very dark. And we should see on the stream very shortly this camera shot from Cosmic Girl.
Oh, here we go, look.
And I want to say that is a successful ignition of a Stage 1 engine. And Launcher 1 is now powering into space with that first stage burning for a couple of minutes, I believe.
So it's very dark. Obviously, it's quite hard to make out finer details. So Launcher 1 released from Cosmic Girl?
Yes, so this shot is from on board Launcher 1. The camera is on the rocket. And so, yeah, Cosmic Girl now already kind of on her flight back to Spaceport Cornwall. And this is a live feed from on board Launcher 1, where before too long, we expect to see stage 1 cutoff.
So essentially what we're seeing here is a camera looking down the shaft of the rocket and the engines firing. So far so good. We're away from Cosmic Girl. Launcher 1 making our way into space, into orbit. 183,000 feet and climbing very quickly.
Climbing very fast, travelling at over 5,000 miles an hour. And obviously, as you can see, the colour is changing from the kind of rocket exhaust. Started off obviously as a nice bright orange, now quite a blue colour.
Now, Pete, I know you're not a rocket scientist, but are things looking good as far as you can tell?
So far, looking at the data, things look like they're going well. We are standing by for stage 1 cutoff, and that's happened. Stage separation.
So I'm just being told that that's MECO there. Main engine cut-off has just taken place. Things looking nominal.
I believe stage separation has happened, and we're now into stage 2 ignition.
I think we're hoping to go back to the onboard camera in a moment. Stand by. Here we go. Look.
There we go. Stage separation has occurred.
Oh.
Obviously, there will be occasional dropouts of signal. And there we can see stage 2.
So the Virgin Orbit team doing their best to kind of bring us those live pictures aboard Launcher 1. Oh, here we go, look.
And there we go. Fairing separation has occurred. Stage 2 cutoff. And the stream here showing us payload deployment, but that may be a little bit premature for what we're seeing here on the images.
And as Launcher 1 makes its way up into orbit, lots of changing in the ground stations. Goonhilly playing their part. I know they've got site in Ireland as well to get that feed back to us, so we can kind of see not only the video but also the data as well.
Right, and Virgin Orbit have now updated their graphics. So fairing separation has occurred, but stage 2 cutoff has not occurred yet. You can see from the graphic here that the fuel and oxygen levels are slowly decreasing.
So the fairing, for people who are unfamiliar, that's the protective housing around the payload.
Yes.
Payload, when we refer to that, are the satellites on board. I believe there's 7 satellites on board?
I believe 9.
9.
I think it was
9.
originally 7, and I think it is now 9.
Those are the customers who are putting their satellites into space on board Virgin Orbit, hitching a ride into space. The fairing, that protective covering as it goes through the atmosphere and into space. They have now deployed. They've gone. And we're waiting for that payload to be deployed. Does it come quite soon, or do we have to wait for Launcher 1 to get into orbit?
No, it's reasonably soon from where we are here. We're now over halfway through the second stage burn. And we're coming up to 600,000 feet of altitude.
And again, I know a lot of people really hoping to see some images and footage as it happens. Do bear with us. We're taking our feed from Virgin Orbit. Space is a complicated beast. It can be quite difficult to get those pictures, but hopefully they'll bring them back soon. We're just seeing a nice animation here of. you can see where Launcher 1 released back, right if you look very at the far back there, from the hot pass up into orbit, and now kind of coming along into the right place where it needs to be.
And of course, Cosmic Girl is now on the way back here to Newquay, ready to land at Spaceport Cornwall before too long.
Here we go, Pete. What can we see from our data coming in here?
So I'm not sure whether this data... There we go. I was going to say I'm not sure whether this data is lagging a little bit. Over on the left-hand side there, we can see the gimbal moving around quite a lot. That little blue circle is showing how the rocket engine is kind of gimbaling to keep the rocket into the correct orbit. And yeah, just looking at the data here, it looks as though oh, there we go. It looks as though stage 2 cutoff.
I'm glad they have the same problem with Google Chrome that I have quite often.
And of course, this rocket flight has been being tracked by our friends over at Goonhilly, of course, here in Cornwall. Goonhilly will have now lost their connection to Launcher 1, but being picked up by other ground stations, perhaps in the Azores or off the coast of Portugal, and that will be. Oh, there you go. I've just heard that the Madrid ground station has locked onto a rocket, and that will be why we're seeing those occasional dropouts of data, and we are hoping to see a camera shot of payload deployment.
And that's where those satellites get released
into
space. They're free from Launcher 1, and they'll make their way into their designated places in space where they will stay and continue to start sending data down to their customers, to their clients. We believe 9 different satellites on board today, very small form ones. They're very tiny, but all very, very integral to the customers who've created them. And if you want to find out more about what is on the payload today, just search Virgin Orbit online. There's loads of great information on their website about today's mission, who's in control, who's behind it, who the clients are, and what they're going to be doing. And of course, sustainability as well, a real kind of breakdown about how this type of technology, this type of launch is more viable and hopefully better as space launches go for the environment. So Pete, just tell us, for people who are joining in, what are we looking at right now? Because it looks like a math lesson I've been in year 9, where I've been asked to draw a graph.
Yeah, so I want to say that because there's been some dropouts of flight data, I believe that this strange line that seems to suddenly change direction and shoot straight up may well be an issue with the data. We're waiting to hear from the team at Virgin Orbit, but I believe that this is perhaps incorrect data, giving this peculiar tick-type shape. But of course we do have data on Cosmic Girl, who is now well on her way back to Newquay, and looking at her position, I imagine we should be expecting her back around about midnight. So yeah, not too long now, and we should be seeing Cosmic Girl coming back in to land.
We'll keep an eye on this as we get it from Virgin Orbit, and follow along with any updates we can bring you, and hopefully we'll see a glimpse of things that are happening above us, above everybody's head. Just coming back to some of your comments on Facebook. Ralph saying brilliant coverage, chaps. Thank you so much, Ralph. Really appreciate that. Lucas, watching from Scunthorpe. Thank you so much for joining us, Lucas. Appreciate that. Sharon watching from South Yorkshire, very great to have you here as well. Thank you so much for joining in and commenting tonight. Here we go. Look, we've got a bit of a trajectory timeline here being shown. So this is a bit of an animation of what's happened, what we've just seen, up to the point where payload will be released. We're not quite sure
so
how far are we ahead.
We're now in that stage, right in the middle of this graphic. We've had the second engine cutoff. We've done the barbecue roll. And we're now heading for the second engine prep and second engine start again, which happens for just a short time before we have payload separation. So we're progressing well in the timeline here. So obviously, yeah, we're just waiting now for that second engine second start, or start 2 as they're calling it.
So this is quite new for all of us. We're learning as we go along here, but it's interesting to see what's going on. Hopefully we'll see a bit more visuals very soon. We're just also keeping an ear on the commentary, both here on the ground in Newquay. I've got to say it's very quiet over at the public site. There's, I think, people waiting for more information to see what's going on and how far things have gone. Let's carry on with some more commentary here. Some more comments. Ivan saying hello from Ivan and Paul watching in Camborne. Great to have you here, guys. Cornish crew. Camborne just down the road from us, so love that. Great to have you here on the stream tonight. Pam watching in West Yorkshire. Great to have you on stream tonight. Sharon also in Yorkshire. Rachel saying, has it taken off yet? Yes, it has. Definitely gone up. We're just waiting for updates on the payload. Insight here, you're looking at the control room here at Newquay. Is that right, Nick? Pete? The control room here in Newquay.
This is control room, yeah, just across the away from where we are here.
That's the folks who are pressing the buttons and making sure things are going right. A few murmurs from the crowd in the background there, so they've obviously been told something. We're just waiting to hear more from that. What else have we got here? Pam saying thank you from Huddersfield. Very welcome, Pam. Thank you for joining us. Kristen watching from my bedroom this evening. Kristen, I think you've got the best seat in the house, to be honest. It's nice and warm. Hopefully you're tucked up, and thank you for joining us here on the coverage. You can see here now on the stream some of the public that have braved the cold here tonight in Newquay. They're gathering in the public safe zone. There's a that's, I guess, the barrier up to the runway. I think people are trying to get to the front to be able to see Cosmic Girl when she comes back into land. There's also some big marquees as well, much warmer, where people are enjoying a nice little drink and things and socialising. And we've got a silent disco going on as well, so very, very cool. Are we able to go back to flight radar at some point to see where Cosmic Girl is? Thank you, Owen. Cool, thank you. I'm getting my way over to YouTube. I'm just going through the Facebook comments at the moment. Jack, I'm not sure where Jack is in the world, but Jack says, I've been outside for ages and I still haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a huge amount, Jack, tonight.
No, I think you've missed your chance now, unfortunately.
Jacqueline saying greetings from the Netherlands. Fantastic.
Netherlands.
Thank you so much for joining us on Chaos TV from people both here in Cornwall, across the UK and around the world tonight. Do get in touch if you're watching the stream on Facebook, on YouTube, on watchchaos.tv, at Chaos TV UK across Twitter and Instagram and Facebook if you want to give us a follow. If you've just joined us, if you've just discovered Chaos TV, thank you so much for tuning in. Nathan Pete here on comms tonight. Owen in the background making things work. We're a community broadcaster right here in Cornwall, and very privileged to come along tonight and join in with some of the fun. And be able to stream from the media centre here. When I say media centre, it's an open-top bus and it's very quiet and it's very cold, but we're having
cold,
fun.
But yeah,
aren't we?
we're enjoying it. And as we can see here on the stream, Cosmic Girl has obviously successfully dropped Launcher 1 for rocket, and is now heading back to Cornwall. And you can see there she's about halfway back, so probably expecting her to come into Newquay at some point in the next half an hour. And we can officially say that Launcher 1 has successfully reached Earth orbit. So this means that this is the first ever orbital mission from British soil. Whether or not the payloads deploy or not, we have
yet to be seen.
Yeah, we have officially launched the first ever orbital rocket from here in British soil. So I think everyone involved in the various space kind of businesses, local governments, and all those kind of people should be very proud, because we've done a really good job here.
So just to confirm, Launcher 1 successfully in the right orbit. It's made it safe to space. We're just waiting for confirmation that those little satellites on board, the payload, have been released and they're safely in their way.
So what's happening now with Launcher 1, currently travelling at around about 20,000 miles an hour, and she needs to, it needs to circle about halfway around the Earth before it can deploy the payload. So that's kind of what we're waiting on now. Not too much longer. We are seeing, if we're able to switch to the other stream, that Launcher 1 is travelling, I believe this is off the coast of Africa.
Yes.
But don't hold me to that. Maybe it's not. But anyway, travelling around about halfway around the world before we can release the payload. So that's kind of what we're waiting on at the moment. But it should happen reasonably soon.
Darren, hello to you on YouTube, saying, shame they couldn't spend a bit more money on some decent cameras and a bit of telemetry. Yeah, I know a lot of people were really hoping to see some live glossy pictures from space and the rocket leaving. We've not seen that yet, unfortunately. But I would say stay tuned to the Virgin Orbit social channels on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, because hopefully they've managed to capture something that possibly they couldn't stream live tonight. And if you're looking for a bit of an insight into that, hopefully we'll get to see that in the coming days, hours on their social. Tracy, this is a good one, Pete. You'll like this one. Tracy says, great work by you guys tonight. I'm cabin crew for Virgin Atlantic, and I've operated on Cosmic Girl countless amount of times. Great memories. Amazing to see her in a new role with Virgin Orbit. Tracy, thank you so much for getting in touch. That's made my night. That's really lovely.
Yeah, imagine working as cabin crew on this plane for multiple years and then seeing it carrying a rocket to space.
And I think that's the true definition of reusability. That's what the space industry are really looking at, not only the environmental impact, but also keeping costs down. And Cosmic Girl is a great example of how a commercial airliner has been repurposed into a very exciting new role. So lovely to hear from Tracy. Thank you so much for sharing that tonight. If you'd like to get in touch, if you'd like to get involved, if you want to have a shout out, we're sticking around for a bit longer. We're hoping to bring you live footage of when Cosmic Girl lands back here in Newquay, probably to an eruption of applause from the crowd here. We saw some very exciting scenes when she took off, and hopefully we'll bring you that. How long do we reckon until she's on her way back?
In terms of Cosmic Girl coming back, I think we're probably looking around about 20 minutes now, something like that. She's probably just 100 miles or so, maybe, or yeah, around about 100 miles off the coast of Cornwall here. So we'll keep an eye on the flight tracker there, see if we can spot Cosmic Girl in the air as she comes back to us here in Cornwall Airport, Newquay. or Spaceport Cornwall.
I need to have a little shout out to our good friend Pudge, who is
hello, Pudge.
on the stream tonight, saying it's great to see you guys covering this momentous occasion. Great job, guys. Always keep it chaos, even in space. That's from Pudge and Els. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the stream tonight. For those of you who aren't familiar with Chaos, Pudge and Els, both presenters and very much involved with Chaos TV over the years, and now very excitingly starting Game on Cornwall. If you're in Cornwall, go check them out. Game on Cornwall, a dedicated streaming gaming place in Penzance that's opened recently, and they're doing amazing things, so do check them out. Big love to you guys tonight. And what else have we got here? Pam saying enjoying the feed, thank you. Paul has a question. How many satellites are there in space? Pete, have a guess. Don't Google it. Come on, have a guess.
I have literally, it will be tens of thousands, I would imagine.
It does blow my mind because there must be so much up there now.
Yeah.
And especially when we think of like Starlink and all the hundreds of satellites, probably near thousands now on the Starlink network.
There
must be
over
so
100
much
on each
clutter
mission, yeah.
and space up there.
So yeah, I would imagine we're probably looking at close to 5,000 satellites
in total.
Not
as many as I thought, but that's still a lot.
That, I guess that's active. There are
yes, of course. A lot of them
still
inactive, decommissioned. Also, a lot of space junk up there as well.
Yes.
That's our take on that. Paul, I've got no facts to back that up.
Well, I've just found a fact. Yep, currently more than 4,500 active satellites in orbit. So yeah. We do know, though, that more than 100,000 satellites have been proposed through things like Starlink, which will be obviously sending up dozens and dozens of thousands of satellites. So whether there's enough space for all of them, I imagine there is. But yes, lots of satellites up there.
Ivan saying great coverage, guys, tonight. Thank you, Ivan. Lisa says, give me a mention. There you go, Lisa. You've been mentioned. Thank you so much for having us here and joining us on Chaos TV tonight. And I hope you stick around for the return of Cosmic Girl in hopefully under 20 minutes' time. Let's have a look here on Flight Radar. She's currently at 26,500 feet, just over, on her way back, roaring back to Newquay Airport here in Cornwall.
And if you are in Cornwall, keep your eyes out to the north of Cornwall, because before too long you might see the lights of Cosmic Girl coming back in over the Bristol Channel. Is it Bristol Channel? Celtic Sea, maybe. I don't know at which point it becomes the Bristol Channel. But look north, and you are quite likely to see Cosmic Girl as she flies back into Cornwall.
Should we go for a little VT, as they say in the industry? What have you got, Owen, for me? What do you reckon? Yeah, let's play Matthew. So Matthew Archer, he is from the UK Space Authority, and we caught up with him yesterday to ask why we should be so excited about the UK's role in the space industry, and how the UK Space Authority have been helping support Spaceport Cornwall in getting to where we are today. That was at the press conference yesterday, so hopefully I'll get a little thumbs up. Oh yes, good. So enjoy this, we'll be back soon.
Okay, we're here with Matt Archer now from the UK Space Agency. Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Exciting times here in Newquay.
Very. I mean, for me, it's been 2.5 years in the making, and for other parts of the Space Agency, it's been even longer. So yeah, very excited to be here at launch and looking forward to a successful outcome tomorrow.
And I think, I guess, Space Agency kind of does what it says on the tin, but more specifically, what role have you guys played in kind of making Cornwall Spaceport come together and of course tomorrow's launch?
Yes, the Space Agency has a number of roles in terms of supporting the launch. So we created the Spaceflight Programme 5 years ago, and that's about putting in place all the things that you need to make a launch successful. So yes, it's about kind of funding new technologies and creating new capability, so supporting Virgin Orbit and Spaceport Cornwall for the launch. But also it's about international agreements and the regulations that underpin the safety of the launch. So it's been a real kind of long road for us in terms of putting legislation through Parliament, creating a new regulator in the CAA, but also all the background activity that I know much of my team have been ongoing with, which is working closely with Spaceport Cornwall and Virgin to get here, and hopefully the international agreements with Spain, Portugal, Ireland, and so many more. So yeah, a real lot of hard work that's got us this far.
And for someone like me, it's all very exciting and I love it, but a lot of people might not understand why. Why does the UK need to be involved with space? You know, what's the point of it?
Yeah, I think the bit that I suppose most people won't be aware that the UK produces more satellites and more small satellites than any country other than the United States. So we have a real heritage in producing new technologies that can produce services for us here on Earth. So whether it's Earth observation and helping us understand our planet in a way that is just more detailed than ever before, whether it's using position navigation and timing signals, so your navigation in your car or your phone, all of that comes from space. And what we've seen is an explosion in the demand for those services and the innovation that's around them. So this launch in particular has some new technologies around maritime surveillance. It's creating the first Welsh satellite going into space, which will do in-orbit manufacturing for the first time. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for the UK to capture, I think, a new part of the space market, but equally build high quality and highly paid jobs here in the UK that otherwise we would miss out on. So yeah, a real opportunity for the Space Agency to show the best of what we can achieve.
And we're wishing all the luck for tomorrow's launch, but what's next for your job, the Space Agency, you know, I guess pushing forward continuously?
Yeah, we're always pushing the boundaries of kind of what we can do for the space sector and how we can support kind of everybody in the UK, so whether that's through economic investment or new jobs. For me, it's about moving our focus from here in Cornwall up to the other end of the UK. So we're looking forward to vertical launches in Scotland, so whether that's with ABL Space Systems or with Orbex or Skyrora or even other providers like High Impulse. We'll be working with them to make sure that they can operate successfully from Scotland, and that's a real challenge ahead. So looking forward to it and an exciting time for the UK.
Matt, thank you so much for your time today, and we'd love to catch up with you again in the future.
Of course, more than welcome, and happy to kind of join any time.
Welcome back to Spaceport Newquay. Nathan Pete here, still braving the cold for you as we wait the imminent return of Cosmic Girl back to Newquay Airport. We're told that she's minutes away, so you can probably just about see Newquay in her windscreen and her headlights. So we'll hopefully bring you some coverage of returning triumphantly back to Newquay. Pete, have we got an update on the Launcher 1?
So no updates as yet. I know there seems to be some telemetry dropouts or data dropouts. So yeah, we're waiting to see what happens next with Launcher 1. The next thing we're waiting for is a second burn of the second stage engine. That will then cut off, and then we should see payload deployment, hopefully happening in the very, very near future. If you are in Cornwall, you might be excited to know that Bless you, that was a loud sneeze. So it's looking as though Cosmic Girl is going to come in and land in at Newquay Airport from the southeast. So that does mean that if you live in the kind of central area of Cornwall, maybe anywhere from kind of Hale on the north coast up to about Perranporth, and then kind of through Truro, Probus, St Austell, and down to Pye, you should be able to see Cosmic Girl flying over central Cornwall as she makes that left-hand bank to come in and land, coming down quite low as well. So she's already at nearly 10,000 feet, so definitely keep an eye out because she's getting pretty close to Cornwall now.
As we wait for that to happen, a bit of activity happening out on the runway as the flight crews get ready for Cosmic Girl to return back to us. A few more of your comments while we wait. Tracy saying, I've enjoyed every minute of your coverage tonight. You must be freezing. Well done, lads. Great job. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The shivers are beginning to tuck in a little bit now as we head towards midnight. But Tracy, your kind words keeping us warm tonight. So thank you so much for that. Lisa says, I do love watching satellites. We're talking about satellites and how many could possibly be up there. Certainly here in Cornwall, we've got designated dark sky spaces. So it makes it really so much easier to be able to see some of the things happening in space. If you look out on a clear night, if you get lucky, sometimes you can see satellites gracefully moving their way across the skyline. We spoke about Starlink earlier.
Yes.
That's quite fascinating when you see some Starlinks because they go in a nice line.
Yeah, when they're first launched, yes. They when they're very first launched, they're really close together. And a couple of years ago, when they first started launching the Starlink satellites, there was a lot of people that were reporting kind of UFO sightings and that kind of thing because no one had ever seen that many satellites all kind of that close together traveling in a line. Now, of course, SpaceX have kind of developed and progressed their coatings, so the Starlink satellites are much less visible because I know for kind of astronomers and stuff it was maybe causing some issues for the land-based telescopes looking into deep space and that kind of thing.
We're getting much closer, as you can see from our tracker on Flight Radar 24 here, that Cosmic Girl is very close to the Cornish coast now, ready to land back at Newquay.
Almost coming in over Perranporth now.
Lovely. If you're in that area, maybe take a peek out the window, have a quick look in the garden, see if you can see her go over. Ivan saying, could you please say hello to Paul Sharp for me? Hello, Paul Sharp. That's from Ivan over on the Facebook chat. A different Tracy saying, been brilliant watching tonight. Thank you, Tracy. Really appreciate that. Pam saying, so many youngsters must be watching tonight's coverage. Yeah, hopefully some, young people, some kids. I mean, I would have loved to watch this as I was younger, especially here in person at Newquay, being part of this.
It's crazy, isn't it? And we have now, of course, had it confirmed that we in the UK have made history as this is the first orbital rocket launch from UK soil and the first horizontal launch for Western Europe, I believe.
Paul is saying great commentary tonight. Thank you, Paul. Jack's still outside. Jackson's still outside and I can't see it. Yeah, Jack, I'd come in, mate. Over in the West Midlands. It's chilly out there. Definitely come inside. Thank you for your messages. Big shout out to our friends Keno Weather Team, still over on YouTube. Tuned in, appreciate that. They said, as of December, Starlink consisted of 3,000 mass-produced small satellites in low Earth orbit.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot of satellites.
That's only a very small number of what we're expecting as well.
Just tell our viewers what's happening here on Flight Radar as we track Cosmic Girl. She's coming in over Cornwall. Just trying to zoom in here. Here we go. Looks like we're taking the long way round.
Yes, so of course we are. Cosmic Girl is going to be landing from the kind of southeast side of Newquay. So that means Cosmic Girl is going to come round probably, I imagine, kind of make the turn somewhere around kind of between maybe Mevagis and Pentuan, maybe fly out a little bit over the sea and then come in kind of over, kind of between Par and St Austell in a nice straight line. Okay, we're just hearing that Launcher 1 has suffered an anomaly and may not be making orbit, so it sounds as if maybe they've had a failure with Launcher 1, which might explain why we haven't been seeing much data for a while. We'll keep you updated for when we hear more. It does sound as if Launcher 1 has not made orbit, then those 9 satellites may not be exactly where they need to be.
This coming also from Virgin Orbit on Twitter, saying we appear to have had an anomaly that's prevented us from reaching orbit, and we are evaluating the information. So hopefully they'll be able to bring us a bit more. Real shame if that's affected deployment of those payloads tonight, because that certainly puts a damper on things.
Yeah, obviously not taken away from the fact that this launch has come from Cornwall, the first orbital launch into space from UK soil, but it is unfortunate if Virgin Orbit have had an anomaly, which is going to mean that the overall mission is not successful. So we're just waiting to hear a bit more from Virgin Orbit about what might have happened. We may not hear anything tonight, and it may be we don't hear anything for a few hours, or maybe not until tomorrow. But it does seem as though the overall mission to get the payloads into space may well have failed.
In the meantime, don't go anywhere. There's still one more milestone to bring you tonight, and that is the return of Cosmic Girl to Newquay here in Cornwall. Maybe, Owen, we could just go back to the runway cam just to see, set the scene really. There's not a huge amount to see. Here we go. This is our live feed on the ground here at Spaceport Cornwall. A lot of renter fences. But anticipating the return of Cosmic Girl.
And I would say, having seen quite a few planes come into land at Newquay before, from where we are standing, it will not be long before we should be able to see the lights from Cosmic Girl as she makes that final left-hand turn. We want to be looking kind of southeast. And depending on how much cloud there is, looking around, we can quite clearly see local wind turbines up here. So I imagine we should be able to see Cosmic Girl coming in to land before too long. So we'll keep an eye out. And like we said, we'll also keep an ear out to see what might be happening or what might have happened to Launcher 1 to cause that failure.
Just coming back to some more of your comments. Linda saying watching in Devon this evening. Well done, everybody. Thank you, Linda, for tuning in and joining us tonight. Mia, back on. Hello to you, Mia. This is past your bedtime. Surely, it's nearly midnight. Saying, I looked out the window and I saw Cosmic Girl over Truro.
Yes.
Fact or fake?
No, that probably would have been a fact.
Yeah, you reckon? Okay, cool. Well, that's great news. Thank you, Mia, for sharing.
We can now see, I don't know whether Owen can get it on the camera, but we can see the lights from Cosmic Girl.
Oh, yes.
As she comes into land. And of course, everything that Cosmic Girl was meant to do has worked perfectly. Launcher 1 was released, and Cosmic Girl is now coming back into land. So whatever the malfunction might have been, we'll have to wait to see, but shouldn't take away from the fact that we have made orbit. The rocket made orbit. It just may not have got to exactly where it needed to be.
Tracy on YouTube, on Facebook, saying won't be seeing any satellites tonight then. It doesn't look like it, unfortunately. It looks like due to an anomaly, as confirmed by Virgin Orbit on Twitter, that there has been some issue. That might explain why we didn't get to see very much after Launcher 1 made its way to orbit, but we'll bring you more of that. And again, stay tuned to the Virgin Orbit official social media channels to get more information on that while they evaluate it. And that is the thing with space, isn't it? It is actual rocket science. Lots of things could go wrong and can go wrong, and unfortunately sometimes they do.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing here today. That unfortunately the payload obviously hasn't got to where it needs to get. You would imagine there'll be some kind of insurance there, because that's going to be quite a costly thing, I imagine. And obviously you've got to feel sorry for those 9 clients who have potentially very expensive satellites up there floating around in space now somewhere, probably not where they're meant to be. It may be that something has happened and some of the satellites can get into some kind of orbit. We really don't know yet. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, and I imagine that the our kind of stream here may be finishing soon once Cosmic Girl lands. So I would point you in the direction of the Virgin Orbit Twitter account. Seems to be probably quite a good place to go to find out exactly what is happening with Launcher 1.
Back here on the ground, you can see on your screen, just above this lovely floodlight, some tail or some headlights making their way through the sky. That is Cosmic Girl. She's on her approach back here to Newquay, slowly making her way in, back home and safe and dry after doing her job.
We hopefully will have a nice clean shot very soon of Cosmic Girl coming in.
And is that clouds that Cosmic Girl's going through? Or is
No,
just
it's
tree
some
lines?
trees.
That's the tree line here, yeah.
Coming in nice and low, so we'll probably end up seeing her just when she comes past those trees, and then obviously either over the top of or just behind the is it the Coast Guards? Yes.
Not a huge amount of difference if Pete maybe just swap to the... Oh no, actually don't. There she is, look.
Oh, there we go. And
she's down and she's landed. And just
straight
other side
down.
of the hangar, there we go, wheels down. And we hear the roar here.
And there's the
those jet
reverse
engines.
thrusters.
And there we have it. Cosmic Girl touches down back in Newquay, where she started her journey a good few hours ago.
Yeah. So there we go. So successful mission from Cosmic Girl.
Lots of applauding and whooping going on in the crowd, just in the public area. We can hear from the media bus here. So there we go.
So so the number one priority, of course, is the safety of the flight crew, and that side of things, the Cosmic Girl side of things, has been successful. So that's brilliant. In terms of Launcher 1, we will probably have to wait and see, and hopefully we'll hear more soon. But looking here down at Spaceport Cornwall, looking out, a lot of the public now streaming out because like I'm assuming people don't want to wait and see Cosmic Girl taxiing back round.
Just we see people leaving the site here. What are your thoughts on, I guess, the whole experience from the last few days and finally being able to witness a launch here in Cornwall?
It's been brilliant, hasn't it? It's not something that a couple of years ago I would have thought we would be seeing anytime soon. What with kind of various delays and will it happen, won't it happen? But it has happened on a cold, reasonably overcast night. here in January in 2023. But we can say history has been made today. The first orbital launch of a satellite from here in the UK. Whether or not the satellites got into space, the rocket made it into low Earth orbit. So I think we can say that at least it was a partially successful mission.
Yeah, I think just to kind of lead on from that, I think it's been a very unique experience to be part of, and it's been incredible to be here on the ground and streaming for you guys tonight and bringing our rambling commentary alongside some of the world's media here in Newquay. It's been an absolute privilege, and if you want to find more out about Chaos TV, if you want to find more out about the Chaos Group, do search for us across social. You can go to Chaos TV UK on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and you can also go to chaosgroupcornwall.co.uk and find out more. I think, are we going to see Cosmic Girl come past us? So we're just
Cosmic
hanging
Girl
on for another final taxi
taxiing
pass.
back down the runway and should very soon come into view, and I'm sure Owen will be on it with the camera as soon as we see her coming past. Returning
Tracy,
triumphant.
on Facebook saying, enjoyed it all, and sometimes these things happen. Yeah, agree, Tracy. You know, it's space, it's rocket science, there's a lot that can go wrong. Unfortunately, it does sound like we've not been able to have a completely successful mission today, but it's been a privilege to bring that to you guys. Mark saying, cheers, chaps, enjoyed the stream tonight. Pam saying, thank you. It's been brilliant. Shame it didn't end up how it should have done. Just going on to YouTube. Lots of you still in YouTube tonight. Big shout out to the YouTube crew.
And there she is.
Sire's Art in Canada, tuning in tonight, Nova Scotia. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, there we go. Look, here she comes. Home safe and dry.
Yes, of course, and like we say, the primary objective, of course, is for the flight crew and everybody on Cosmic Girl to get home safe and well, and that seems to have happened. So whether or not the outcome of the Launcher 1's mission was successful or not, I think we can safely say that this side, the initial launch side, was a success. So yeah, it's been a really nice evening, hasn't it? It's been great seeing it all happen. Just a little bit chilly. Starting to see our breath now.
Virgin, if you're listening to this, if we could do one in the summer, that would be lovely.
In the daytime, in the summer.
Daytime, in the shorts. That'd be nice.
That's
but
what we
hey,
want,
we can't have it all our way. I think that's pretty much it from us tonight. I think we should leave it with these scenes of Cosmic Girl parking up for the night here at Newquay Airport, or Newquay Cornwall Airport, the spaceport. Thank you very much for everybody who's been listening and getting involved and messaging and tweeting and WhatsApping. We really appreciate your company tonight. Pete, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nave. It's been a good one. I'm looking forward to the next one now. Hopefully this is the first of many launches into space from the UK.
Big thanks to Owen behind the scenes who's making all the tech work. Couldn't do it without you. And of course, big thank you to Spaceport and Melissa and her team for allowing us to come on tonight. That's it from us. Have a lovely evening. Stay safe. And we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.